The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack just like I'm Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not.
What's going on, y'all? It is the first show back. 2-week hiatus is over, man. It's your boy Scott here, getting y'all ready for another episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. Of course, it is Monday, January 6, 2025. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Barberchair Scott. You can follow the Barberchair Network and at Barberchair Net on all social media platforms, as well as our partners, H&B Media. You can follow them at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to the Patreon, man. As you can see, we updated some stuff during the break. Of course, we're going to get right back to updating regularly now that the break is over. We're back into our regular schedule. You can subscribe at patreon.com/Barbershop Network. You listen to this on the podcast version. Links right in the description. If you watch this on YouTube, you can take your phone up to the screen. The QR code will take you right up there to the link, man. If you subscribe to the $10 Barbershop All Access fee, tier, you will get 25% off on your first order at the bcnetshop.com for everything Barbershop Network merchandise, man. And shout out to everybody for back. Shout out to everybody who, had a watch the clips we put up during the break. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. But we've got a packed show for y'all today. Courtney will be joining us in the second hour. Dante's gonna be missing Mondays until like May. His schedule changed a little bit, so he'll be on the Friday shows, but filling in for him will be the homie Tosin on Mondays. He'll be joining the second hour. And of course, we got Pavy joining hour 3. So we're going to talk about a little bit of NBA basketball, man. But right now, I'm going to bring in my co-hosts, Bang and Mikey, man. You can follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. You can follow Mikey at Junior_Solito on Twitter, man. How y'all brothers feeling, man? It's been a while since we've been on here.
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Mike, how you feeling?
I'm decent, man. First victory Monday of 2025 and the last victory Monday.
Yeah, exactly. First victory on American soil in months.
That's crazy. Who would have thought the last victory you saw was when you were overseas?
When me, Dante, and my brother were drinking after they beat the Jaguars and niggas was 4-2. I was all, yeah, man, all's right in the world. Little did I know that we would not win another game until fucking New Year, man. But beating the Packers was a good one. We'll get in that to a minute. But man, I just want to quickly talk about, the break, man. What y'all do? What niggas do with the break? 2 weeks. I did absolutely nothing, and I enjoyed it. I caught up on any shows I didn't get a chance to watch. Saw a lot of good TV, man. I watched y'all heard the show Lioness with
Banger.
Yes.
Banger.
Yeah.
That's a banger.
Yeah, banger. I've been in love with that woman since I saw her on that movie with Bernie Mac when they did that the remake of that Sidney Poitier movie, come home doing whatever the fuck that shit with Ashton Kutcher. But she's great in that. I saw Cross. My man Aldous Hodges come a long way from playing MC Ren on Straight Outta Compton. Long way. Long way from that. He killed that. I enjoyed that. I got into a new show, Agency. One man, Fassbender on there, Michael Fassbender, and Jeffrey Wright. Pretty good
Oh
show.
yeah, that's the one I saw. Where's that at?
It's on show. It's on Paramount Plus, but it's Showtime on Paramount Plus.
Okay, I'm a.
Yeah, it's
got
still
the Billy
going
Bob-
on right now.
I got the Billy Bob Thornton joint on as we do the pod right
That
now.
shit's good. What is it? Landman, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Landman.
Man. Yeah, I heard about it. I heard that was good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, that's pretty. I saw that, and it gave me London withdrawals, man, because the show is based in London. I was like, oh, nigga, I know that's it. And then I also finally watched Mayor of Kingstown. I know people tell me watch that for years. Dante was telling me my man Clint Barton was going crazy. Fire show. I was definitely fucking with. So yeah, I did nothing but like chill and then just enjoy my time, man. This morning was the first time I turned my phone off D&D in like 2 weeks. I forgot what email sounded like, but we are back. Bang, what'd you do?
Worked. Nigga, I worked. Worked. I know that last show, because my flight was all messed up. I wasn't able to jump on and everything. And then after that, shit, it was still work. So I ain't see any like new television shows, but Linus, I did binge that. But the Luther Vandross documentary.
Oh, I saw that too. Yeah,
was fired. The Yacht Rock documentary too. I watched those two. But other than that, yeah, man, I just worked.
I saw the Sidney Poitier documentary too. It's 2 years old. Well, I didn't know about it. I saw it on Apple TV. It was pretty good.
Oh,
yeah,
damn, you ain't even know about it?
No, I heard about it, but when I go on Apple TV, they only show me the shows I've seen before. It's like, yeah, nigga, watch Severance again, watch Ted Lasso again. Like, so I heard about it. Somebody told me about it, so I just looked it up again. But it was good documentary. Mikey, what you do during your break, bro?
Shit, bro, just chill with family. I was working from the crib for the last 2 weeks, so back in the office tomorrow, and then I find out my fate tomorrow if they're gonna take away this remote work and make us go back in 5 days a week, which I'm not looking forward to hearing. Yeah, so just that, and I fuck with Transformers 1. I don't know if any of y'all have seen it. Bang. I don't know if you have seen it.
Yeah,
I watched it. They ain't gonna watch that shit. I did.
No, it's called Transformers 1, Scott. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the animation joint.
It's anime. It's not. I thought you want the first Transformers movie.
No, it's called Transformers 1. It's on Paramount Plus too, so it's on Prime. It's fire, bro. They got Chris Hemsworth as Optimus Prime. They got my man from Atlanta. I forgot his name as Megatron. They got
you talking about Paperboy or
Paperboy.
Okay,
Paperboy is Megatron. They got a lot of good actors in there. And it's basically kind of like the Megatron and Optimus Prime as shorties and how they became how they were. But like for a film that had like very low promo and like I really I saw the commercial back in the summertime and I thought it was gonna be terrible. It was actually pretty fucking dope. And it made me want to like circle back and watch all of the the Michael Bay joints just cause.
And you know what show that I thought that they got? I saw the trailer. I thought it was gonna be good, but wasn't. That limited series on Netflix, The Madness with Coleman Domingo, not good. Now
it's not good. I got it in my queue.
It's not good. He's good in it, but it reminds me of you see that Netflix miniseries like 3 years ago with Kevin Hart and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
It's literally the same concept, based in the same city. I hated that, and I hated this. If it was a movie, it'd have been good. I didn't need 8 episodes of that. I thought Coleman Domingo was great in it. I thought it was a good cast, but it just wasn't enough material for me at least. I don't know. You might like it, for me at least. But yeah, that's why I was there with it, man. So yeah, outside of doing the Bears game, the Seattle game, which, oh my God, that was one of the worst games I've ever seen. And we said that about a lot of Bears games, but that one was outside of that touchdown that came through that they took back to Roma Dunze, it was just boring. It was just boring. I think, it was just not good. And I was gonna go to Green Bay yesterday, but I was like, bro, I don't feel like driving 3 hours. I thought they were gonna get destroyed. And so, I still think they'd lost if I'd win, by the way. But anyway, let's get into it. The first local hour of 2025.
It is the local hour.
Local hour sponsored by absolutely nobody. We will be getting a sponsor soon. But I want to kick this off with my my eulogy and my sound off to the 2024 Bears season. Man, I went back and watched some clips from our preseason show. Went back and watched some reels also, not just from the preseason show we did at Pillars, but just the shows we did in the offseason in general. And there was so much joy, so much optimism, numbers we threw out. And we're going to get to that later on in the show about things in the NFL that we were wrong about in general. But I remember I said something that actually is very funny now. I said, even if this season goes to hell, it's nothing we haven't experienced, right? It sounded good at the time because there was zero chance I thought that was going to actually happen. But now that it happened, I was like, this is not fun. Yes, we've been through this before, but it's not fun. This was the most disappointing Bears season I personally have ever watched. And I know a lot of people bring up 2019. I know a lot of people say this season was worse than 2014. I think 2014 was a worse season. 2024 was a more disappointing season. I think we forget how bad 2014 is. Now, 2024 is right there. Like, 2014 got a point over it to me. Niggas was actually scrapping in 2014. That's probably why I give it a little bit of an edge over 2024. But just with all the expectations coming into the season, and the Bears matched none of them. They were 2 games worse than they were last year. This offense looked worse than it did last year. And that's saying a lot because Luke Getsy was terrible. But the plays that Luke Getsy called looked miles better than what we saw Shane Waldron call. And honestly, what Thomas Brown has called these last couple weeks, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. And I'm glad it's over. This was something I thought was going to be the most fun season on the beat. It was not. I think a lot of Bears fans out there, a lot of fans, not just Bears fans, think that local media want the team they cover to be bad, which is so far from the truth. Who wants to cover a bad team? It makes it more exciting. If you're looking for more stories, you're looking for games that matter for the team to be better. It was just bad front to back. And even when they won a couple games, even if you look at the wins, they weren't pretty wins. Like none outside of Jacksonville. Jacksonville was a pretty win. And you look, they beat Tennessee, they beat Jacksonville, beat Green Bay. That's impressive, even though, and for those of you saying, it was back at quarterback, I don't care if my granny was out there. It's the Green Bay Packers, my nigga. I don't care who's out there. And also, this team, they ain't beat them in Lambeau Field in 10 years. They ain't beat them in general in 7 years. I don't care who's out there. But it was a lot. I think the fan base, and I actually give Bears fans some credit. I said coming into the season, like a lot of other fan bases were laughing at us because how the season went down. But I don't think Bears fans talked crazy this offseason. I think we all had realistic expectations based off what we saw last year coming into this. I remember being at the tailgate during the preseason in week 1 and feeling the pulse of Bears fans. Everybody I got to wait and see it. There was really no overall excitement as far as expecting anything more than we expected, which at the time we thought was reasonable. And they matched none of it. We're going to get into what grades we'll give Caleb. And I thought Caleb had a pretty solid rookie season, but I'd be lying up if I came up here and said I wasn't disappointed, especially with the numbers I have from coming to the season. So it was just an overall shitstorm, front to back. There's nothing enjoyable about it. 2019 was bad. For those who say 2019 is more disappointing. But Mitchell Trubisky, I don't care what. I know there's some cult Mitch following out there for whatever reason. Mitchell Trubisky never had the potential of a Caleb Williams. Even if we thought that Mitch will make a little bit of a jump from the solid 2018 season he did, it wasn't like a foregone conclusion. You know what I'm saying? And that team still won 8 games. As bad as it was, that team still won 8 games, which is 3 more than what this squad won. So just overall disappointed me. And I'm glad it's over. And now we move forward on to 2025. Y'all got any final words on the 2024 season before we actually talk about what happened last night at Lambeau Field?
Let me go first by saying that I apologize to I Ain't Gonna Hold You, the cast, the crew, pillars, everybody, for my prediction this year. I really went out of body and really thought that we was gonna be great. I really hope that you delete this season preview show, so nobody see how deep I jumped into the water. Man, this season was I still can't put into words what this season was like. I've never been, as a Bears fan, I've never been in a situation where I had so much hope for a team that did so bad. This has tested my level of patience as a fan of the Chicago Bears this season. But yes, I've never had a season to where I had so much hope, so much just was ready to shit on everybody. And it just didn't happen. So I can't put a word on it. I just felt like I needed to apologize to everybody who listens to this show, who watched the show, who's on this show. Because if it was anybody on that season preview show that jumped off the ledge, it was me. And the only thing that I got right this season is I said that the Tennessee Titans was going to have the worst record in the NFL.
You did say that.
Damn it, they got the worst record in the NFL, and they're the number one pick. That's literally the only thing I'm happy about on that season preview show. Delete it.
And you can't even be too happy about that because them niggas, the only reason we beat them is special teams. You know, Jalen, Tyreek hooped, and Mr. Simone
Scott.
Biles.
Damn,
You know,
Scott, that just fucked up my shit.
Caleb didn't even throw for 100 yards in that game. So we can't even feel good about that. Mikey, any final words on this albatross of a season we just witnessed? You are on mute. See, we lucky we back.
You're right. You know,
oh
that's
man,
that 2 week.
I
That's
forgot
that
about
2 week
yeah.
layoff.
Hey, you get a pass because I forgot where the mute button. I mean, where the fine button was at. So we give you a break today. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey, but funny you say that. We got like a little fine bucket at the crib now for every time I say some out of pocket shit in the house. So I've been dropping singles.
Oh, I know you dropping a lot of money up in there, bro.
Yeah. It's a good like $19 in there from
I bet.
In a Tide Pod thing that I got from Costco. But yeah, we were wrong on all our predictions. Even on like my season long bets, the only one that we hit was Caleb Williams passing yards over 35 in 100. You know, he just barely cracked that. The regular season passing TDs, it was over 22.5. He had 20. So we were off by that. But you know, the win total off, division win, everything we were off by. It was just a massively disappointing season for the organization. And I've been going back and forth with, is it the worst that I can remember? And I can say personally that this year is worse than 2014, just off the strength that we saw them do something that they never did in their history. I don't care about people fighting. I don't care about any of that. Like, we actually saw them fire a first-time OC within the season and then double back 2 weeks later and fire the head coach. So that goes to show you how bad it is, or how bad it was. I can't believe that, like, after the Patriots game, which was really right before we got into like the meat and potatoes of the season, that I was already kind of just like apathetic. Like, I'm just on Caleb and Rome watch, and everything else is just extra. So, you know, they got their work cut out. I know if we feel this way, I'm sure, you know, and we seen it in the press conference with Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren last month when they, you know, or 2 months ago when they had to introduce Thomas Brown as the interim. But I think you could see the embarrassment on Ryan Poles' face and the disappointment that, you know, literally nothing went well.
Yeah, and allegedly they're speaking tomorrow, and I say allegedly because I haven't gotten the email yet. What do you mean we?
Who is we speaking?
I mean they're speaking. My fault. Well, also, by the way, if transitions are a little slow today, Dante's not here and Nikhil's not here either. So
no, I'm just saying I don't want to hear nothing from them niggas. I don't hear nothing from niggas.
You'll be watching, nigga.
I'm probably not. Like as busy as I was today, I probably will not.
Well, Mikey will put the quotes in the chat.
Yeah, he put the quotes in. I've been following Mikey quotes and text messages more.
I thought Mikey got kidnapped this morning, dog. I was breaking all the news in the chat this morning. I'm like, what's going on? I just knew I was waking up to like 8 texts.
I was out personal reasons.
But yeah, allegedly the Warren and Poles are supposed to speak tomorrow. I haven't got an email yet, but Courtney Cronin kind of alluded to that on J Hood and Cap this morning. But yeah, man, I checked out playoff wise after the Hail Mary. After the Hail Mary, I was like, yeah, they can have a solid, season, but they're not making the playoffs, after that.
I checked out after that Arizona game because I was never thinking division, especially seeing the way the Lions started, and none of us expected the Vikings to have the season they were. But after the Cardinals lost, I was like, yeah, it's a wrap on that, because you've lost to, two teams that, will definitely be, in the mix. And, come to look at it, I mean, what did the wild card teams finish with? I don't have the records here in front of me, but all 10 wins, right?
Wins. Yeah, all of them had 10 wins.
And that was something that we had projected going into the season, that it would take, 9 with some help, 10 at the minimum.
I think every team in the playoffs has 10 wins, if I'm looking at it correctly.
Yeah, every team, because Seattle missed the playoffs and they got 10 wins.
Yeah,
right, exactly. Yeah,
the Bucks got their 10th win yesterday.
The Broncos won 10 games.
Yeah, the Broncos are 10-7.
Okay,
Steelers 10-7, Texans 10-7, Chargers 11-6. Ravens 12-5, Bills 13-4, Packers 11-6, Eagles 14-3, Commanders with the surprising 12-5, the Bucks 10-7, and then we already know what the guys on the bye did. Yeah, man. So the Bears really had no shot at that Commanders game. Trubisky and Fields both in the playoffs. Don't let facts get away with my delusion. I'll let you have that one, brother. Oh my God.
Technically.
Come on, man. That's like me. You know what I'm saying? That's like me proud of my man because he got some pussy that I didn't get.
No, that's like that.
I'd be proud of that though, Mikey. Like I'd be one of us.
No, that's like that meme that said that Kobe and Smush Park combined for 82 points.
Yes.
Like that's what that is. You know what I'm saying? That's 100% that is. But let's get to some actual good news last night. The Chicago Bears won a football game over the dreaded Green Bay Packers 24-22 with a walk-off Cairo Santos 51-yard field goal. This is the first time they have beaten them in 11 tries. Last time they beat them was the NFC North Championship game in the 2018 season when the Bears finished all 12-4. That game I called the gift and the curse, because it was a gift because you won the division, beat the Packers, but also a curse because Eddie Jackson got hurt on that game-ending interception of Aaron Rodgers, and you didn't see the nigga again for us of the year. This is the first time the Bears have beaten the Packers at Lambeau Field in 10 years. Last time was Thanksgiving 2015 with Jake Cutler threw 2 touchdowns, and of course, can't forget about Tracy Porter's game-still interception over the Green Bay Packers. That was a long-ass time ago, my nigga. That was 10 years ago. I was 26 when it happened. I am 36, bro. It was a long time. So, Caleb Williams, 21-29. A lot of them were vertical. Them vertical passes really boosted up his completion percentage, but that's a whole nother conversation. 148 yards, 1 touchdown to DJ Moore. He finished with 20 touchdowns on the season. Keenan Allen threw the ball 1 time, got interception. DJ Moore had a touchdown. He still had over 1,000 yards in the season. They turned this nigga into a running back. And the defense played well. They got a good special teams touchdown by Josh Blackwell. Kevin Byard forced a fumble. Jalen Johnson forced a fumble. So real good game for them. And they also did some damage to the Packers and their little playoff hopes, man. They're gonna have to go to Philadelphia this week for the Super Wild Card game. And I'm pretty sure Jordan Love is gonna play, but that nigga is definitely hurt. And they lost Christian Watson for the rest of the year. He tore his ACL. So big thing for them. I think, man, straight up and down about this, I saw some people out there getting upset about draft positioning. I'll be real. I don't care about that. I don't care about that because it's the Packers. And I understand this rivalry only matters to Bears fans, Packer fans, Bears players, and Packer players. Nobody outside of those parties gives a fuck. If you're a regular NFL fan, why would you care about Bears Packers? The Packers been beating up on the Bears ever since Reagan got out of office. Like, honestly, like, so this is not nothing where it's been an actual stand. You had that little 2 years where Lovey was beating the Packers during Favre's last couple years, but outside of that, it's been the same thing. So you don't really care about that rivalry, but we still care. And there was a point in the game where I was like, I think the Bears were up like a couple points. And it was like 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And I was like, now I want this game, which means I'm not going to get it. And that's exactly when DJ Moore fumbled the football. And they went down field goal. I'm like, this is just how it happened. Like, we're never going to beat them. It doesn't matter who's a quarterback. They own us. And made the field goal. Caleb Williams came down, did what he did. And when that field goal went in for Cairo Santos, number one, I felt good for Cairo with his kick being blocked and everything, for him to get that redemption arc. And I felt good for Caleb because Caleb has done this 5 times this year. He's just been robbed of the actual game-winning drive because of dumb stuff that has happened either by coaching, defensively, or whatever. So I feel like that's good for him. He's now undefeated in Lambeau. First trip in Lambeau, doing something that Mitch couldn't do, something that Justin couldn't do. I think that's something to build on. And just for the players, too. I know fans, media, we get upset about all these losses. Nobody gets more upset than the players. They're the one out there busting their ass, spend all these time in training and practice and recovery. They're the ones out there playing. So I felt good for the players too, to just get that monkey off the bat. It's the first time Jalen Johnson's ever beat the Packers. You know what I'm saying? Like, him giving the middle finger to him. He's been one of the most vocal people. You don't ever see DJ show that much emotion. He told Mark Brody, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? I like to see that kind of stuff, man. So to me, it's a good win. I don't know if, I know Caleb said this is first to many this year. I'm not doing that this offseason. I'm not. They have gained no, and I feel like I'm a glass half full person. I will not be doing that with the Bears this year. They have to prove it to me. Even if they get Ben Johnson, who I want to be the next head coach, only the Bears could ruin them because they're the Bears. That's the kind of mentality I'm gonna have until I actually see at least half a season next year. But I enjoyed it, liked what I saw, and I thought it was a good way to start the year. Bang, what'd you feel about the win yesterday? I know you said yesterday in the chat that you couldn't even put together an emotion.
No, I couldn't
to feel after.
I saw something on social. Remember what's that? Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah.
When Danny Glover was like, we won.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we won. My son was right by my desk where I currently am right now. My son was by my desk. He was praying. And I was like, get your ass up. Like, he's like, what? He's like, what you praying for? Man, I hope the Bears win. I'm like, man, I ain't about to win this shit. Like, I really feel bad because I basically told my son, get the fuck up, fam. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Bears ain't winning nothing. This was after the fumble and shit, and they got the ball back, and I really was telling my son, like, don't have no hope in these niggas. And then they got it, and I was like, wait a minute, they won? Wow. And even now, it don't feel like the Bears won that game. Like, they won it. I'm not saying that it was like by accident or something. It just don't fit. And with everything that's happened this year, it felt like to me that I was not supposed to get any gratification, no joy, no love. It felt like they were supposed to end this shit on a 12-game losing streak, and we supposed to basically just be down in the dumps. I don't feel like we deserve the happiness of the Bears defeating the Packers, but it happened. And I feel bad that I felt that way. But we won. Caleb is undefeated in 2025. He's undefeated against the Green Bay Packers in 2025. And is this one of those things going into the postseason that you feel like is going to give us optimism? That's probably the other reason why I'm like, because now you win this game against the Packers. Now you're feeling good. Now you see the list of coaches. You see Ben Johnson there. So it's like now this sets you up to be happy to possibly not getting the bike from your daddy during Christmas.
Mikey, what's your thoughts on the dub last night?
My first thought was fuck because I took the Packers like -6.5 in one of my parlays.
Oh, you did?
So
I took that 9.
Yeah, as I'm sitting there looking at my ticket, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
Oh my God. What is it? But as I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm watching the game there. Then I got Red Zone on the other TV, and they were Octobox with the Commanders game, the Falcons game, all games that I really had on my ticket. And I was sitting there kind of sweating, and I'm like, man, fuck. But then seeing them get the ball back, seeing Caleb go ahead and move down the field, got gifted. Not gifted. It was a horse collar penalty, but the play didn't look good from the start. So fortunately, they got the horse collar there, 15-yard penalty, and they were able to move the ball. A couple big throws to Rome, and then the throw to DJ to get in the field goal range. So for me, I was just more happy for the younger guys, the younger Bears that will be here going forward. The Kyler Gordons, the Roma Dunzes, Jalen Johnson, first time ever beating, the Packers, and Caleb Williams. It felt like, when you get to that free throw line, you finally want to see it go in because Caleb has gotten, the Bears and this offense to the free throw line about 5 times this season with, within seconds and within the positive yardage to go ahead and win games, and they just found ways to botch it. So, 11-game losing streak, facing your rivals on the road. I don't care that Jordan Love was hurt. I don't care that Josh Jacobs didn't play. It was just good to see the younger guys that are going to be here next year, to see them get a win. And it was still a very hostile environment. Go back and rewatch that last minute. It was loud. Packers fans were hyped. They were thinking, that they were going to have a better, playoff matchup and not having to go ahead and face, the Philadelphia Eagles. And, the Bears found a way to do it. So for me, that's really all I took away from it. Offensively, it was an ugly game. Defensively, it was kind of, what we were expecting to see more of from this defense. Be stingy, get some takeaways, and stuff like that. But for me, it was just really all about the confidence for the QB. And seeing him build a rapport with DJ kind of, the last game of the season, they were able to do some positive things. I thought that was key too.
And it was dope to see DJ and Caleb's game in the interview. You know what I'm saying? And it was dope to kind of see that. As I've always said, I never felt there was any beef between the two. At least the stuff that I've seen being around the locker room. Never has DJ been frustrated 100%. But I not one time this entire season ever got the feeling that he don't fuck with Caleb. So it was just kind of cool to see that. Joe said both teams 1-5 division. Yes, and that says a lot more about Green Bay.
Right.
Frauds. And they could be on 6. That's the thing I took from this. And,
but I don't take that because you're looking at 2, 14-win teams. Like, let's be real. You're looking at, it's not like the division is the AFC South and they were losing to the Titans.
What that tells me that is that they're not as good as the other teams in the division. That's why I take that. Then to me, they're not as good as a Minnesota or
Cass was talking about Cass was over there talking about they could potentially make a Super Bowl run.
I think we all realize, and I think all of us here and Dante too, we all kind of were not sold off of Jordan Love this year. There were plenty of times that we've seen him get bailed out with some of the throws he made and some of the completions he got. A lot of it seemed very fluky. But Josh Jacobs is a fucking beast, and that offense goes as he goes.
Yeah, I underrated that signing. He's
yeah. That he has been, and I mean, there were 2 straight weeks I watched him on prime time, the Seahawks game, and I think they had 10 plays the first drive. 9 of them were Josh Jacobs. He literally got them, punched them in. So
that's why I wanted the Bears to get, because he wanted to come here.
Facts. Well, I want to say Saquon, nigga. All they had to do was
I knew
$5 million more.
Yeah, I didn't think they.
I didn't know how close the Bears were till I saw Hard Knocks.
Right.
Giants. And I was like, damn, they were closer than I thought. But yeah, man, the Packers. I'm gonna debut my hate watch list later on the show of the teams that I'm gonna be hating on in order. for the rest of the year. But let's go to our quarterback, Mr. Caleb Williams. He has completed his first season rookie year in the books. He is the first Bears quarterback to play every game of the season since Jay Cutler in Jay Cutler's first year with the Chicago Bears, which was a hilarious season to say the least. He had 28 touchdowns and 26 interceptions. Ridiculous. A lot of people don't know. I don't know if y'all remember this, but Jay Cutler's first game as a Bear, Sunday Night Football in Lambeau Field, he threw 4 picks, was the same night that Kanye took the microphone for Taylor Swift at the VMAs. It was the same night. You know what I'm saying? Same night. Because I was like, what's going on? I was in my college dorm watching that, man. But first Bears quarterback to play all 18 games. He finished with these stats. He finished with 3,541 passing yards, 20 touchdowns thrown, 6 interceptions, and a 62.5 completion percentage, man. If you just look at the numbers, really, really good year for a rookie. Like I said in my opening monologue, man, that I was disappointed by the season because of my expectations. Now, I had him at 3,500 yards. He surpassed that. I had him at 28 touchdowns thrown. He didn't reach that. And I said, man, me and Bang argue when he first got drafted, right before he got drafted. Bang was like, he's not a turnover prone guy. He's not gonna be throwing to. I was like, it's the NFL. Bang was right. Bang was right. That travel. He only threw 6 interceptions. I don't want to hear about almost interceptions because you can go to every quarterback in the NFL and talk about almost interceptions. 6 interceptions. They only lost like 2 or 3 fumbles. Really good, just looking numbers wise. Now, if you take the numbers and use the eye test, it was a real inconsistent season. It looked like a regular rookie quarterback season that if he didn't come into this year with all the hype that he came into, I don't think it'd have been judged as harshly as it was. Not only just the hype he came with, the hype the team came with. I don't want to take that aspect with it. I think a lot of people and some Bears fans have amnesia about all the hype coming into the season for the Bears. And we was up here talking about best situation ever. I said something that was so egregious now, but at the time I really, really felt. I said this is the best situation for a rookie since Magic Johnson going to the 80s, to 1979, 1980 Lakers. And at the time I really believed it. And that looks terrible right now. So that's why I always. But if you look at the conversation of Caleb, and Mike, you said this months ago, people just don't like the kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly, Joseph in the chat. 3 number 1 receivers. And we said they all go, 3,000-yard wide receivers.
We didn't have a single 1,000-yard wide receiver or a 1,000-yard running back.
I think DJ
they're making the bet. DJ I think got to 1,000.
Yeah, DJ got 1,000 last night.
But remember, it was the bet about who was gonna get to 1,000.
Right, exactly.
And all that shit. Yeah.
I remember that doing OTA.
Nah, DJ didn't get to 1,000. DJ got to 1,000 total. He had 966 receiving. Yeah.
Got you.
Crazy.
Okay. Yeah. He had 7 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, 6.
So you said, Alex, though, that the 1,000 was the total. What
the total.
So the total.
That's when they use them on them jet sweeps and shit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. And yeah, so we were buying all the hype. And so if you take that, that's why he's been getting killed. But I still think the conversation is unfair from non-Bears fans. And we've said this. I'm going to continue to say this. If you give every GM who was in that top 3 last year a polygraph test, they're all still taking Caleb number 1. You can sit up here and lie all you want. Jaden Daniels was great this year. Can't shit on his year. As much as I tried hard, I was that mean to say when you hate the nigga that everybody fuck with. That was me all season. But Jaden had a really, really great year. Jaden's not having that year with this system here in Chicago. He's not having that year. Bo Nix isn't having that season without Sean Payton. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that if Caleb went to Washington, they have the same season. I would go even further. They might even be a little better. I truly, truly believe that. But for my grade, I think that a C+, I think I would give him. I think that's a fair grade. I said B minus last night because I was still in it. They beat the Packers, vibe, but see, I think C plus is a very fair. It was a lot of inconsistencies. You saw the flashes, what made him a number one draft pick, which makes him that if he hits on his potential, he can be an elite quarterback. But the thing that he did in college that I saw watching the USC, we all saw holding on to the ball too much. He got sacked 69 times, I think it was, so second in NFL history. I'm saying at least 25 to 30 of those sacks are on Caleb. So yeah, he got to work on that. The deep ball accuracy was very concerning. I think once he gets his footwork cleaned up, he can do on that. But overall, man, he broke a lot of records for the Bears. Granted, the bar is in hell when it comes to anything passing with this franchise. But I think that considering everything he went through, and Justin went through a lot in his 3 years, Caleb went through all of that in one season. Like 3 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches. I think they had like 28 different offensive line lineups. I saw yesterday on the broadcast.
Yeah, 28 different variations.
28 different variations. You had all these different people here saying, "Oh, the line's not that bad." No, it's terrible. But overall, I would give Caleb a C plus. But for the first time in my life, I think they got their quarterback, and I'm very, very excited to see how this goes. Mikey, how would you grade Caleb from this season?
Yeah, I'm in between that average range of a C to a C plus. I guess I could side with you with the C plus. I think there's a lot of things that with the eye test you can see that there's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up with him. Accuracy, his accuracy and his deep ball and just his accuracy in general was not what I expected it to be. As a rookie, being that he was so accurate in college. Earlier today, I kind of was going through a list of just quarterback completion percentage for, starting quarterbacks this year. And there have been so many different quarterbacks that have actually started games. So I just went from QBs that have started in at least 10 games or more. And he ranked 29th in that, at 62.5%. And that's just not going to cut it. If you want to go ahead and be that, that franchise caliber, quarterback and be somebody that wants to take the Bears offensively to where they want to go. Now there are a lot of variables for that. Obviously the O-line, like you said, chemistry with his wide receivers, but I just feel like if I close my eyes right now and I just think of games, I could think of plenty of moments where Caleb left a lot to be desired on the field. That being said, I walk out of this year knowing 100% that we have our guy, we have a guy, and we have somebody we can win with. The record is what the record is. It's a team game, but I look back at it, 1-score game in Houston had an opportunity to win. A 1-score game in Indianapolis had a opportunity to win. Got the lead in Washington, and we know what happened. The position to be there in the Packers game, drove down the field, big throws. I mean, he made a throw during that drive that made Tom Brady literally fucking cream himself. Like, I think people forget about what, some of the moments we had because of the long losing streak. And, he was there at the forefront. I think him and Rome developed a connection later on in the year that they didn't have earlier on the year. So I'm happy with, the guy that we got. I think that there's a lot to clean up with him. But if this is his floor in year one, we're talking about 3 OCs, an extra head coach, all the variables of the different O-line, the sacks, all the turmoil, everything that they went through. If his floor is 20 TDs, 3,500 passing yards, and less than 10 picks, less than fucking 7 picks, 6 picks, then you can cook with that, and that can easily be something that can be fixed, with the right coaching staff around him.
Bang, how would you grade? And by the way, Mike, did you give a grade, like an actual grade?
Yeah. I went with you, C plus.
C plus, okay. Bang, what would you grade this one?
I'm giving him a B. I'm giving him a B. See, when we had this conversation last year, we said that around 3,500 yards, over 20 touchdowns, and less than 10 interceptions will count as a good year for him. That's what he got. Like what we said he was going to get, or what we predicted, some of us went more. Like I said that if he's who he says he is, we're getting more than that. But that right there is the bar. He got that. But then when you look at what he had to go through to get that, I think that context is the reason why I'm giving him a B. I had said that during the season that it seems like to me that the team didn't really develop him or really try to develop him. He really came into this system really like they brought him into the system like, all right, shit, do your thing. They didn't really develop him. So there's an issue. Accountability. Some of the things that he did mess up, they didn't really hold him accountability. That's a coaching thing. It's not a Caleb thing. Everything to me revolving around Caleb revolved around coaching. And when you let go of Shane Waldron and you brought in Thomas Brown for those games where he was the offensive coordinator, you started to see that come out. But the fact that he got everything that we said that he was going to get, even with the less interceptions, I think the only reason why people are probably not going to give him a B is because of what the other quarterbacks did. So if you're comparing him to those other quarterbacks, then yeah, I'll give him a C. In fact, if you're comparing him to Bo Nix, I'll give him a D. Because there's nowhere in hell that we thought that Bo Nix was going to have the season that he had. We thought Sean Payton was a washed coach. We thought that Bo Nix had no chance in hell. If you want to grade Caleb against those players, then yeah, I'll give him a D if you're grading him for Bo Nix, but I'm not doing that. I'm grading him to what I saw on the field and what he did this year. He did basically everything. He got every number that we thought. And something to think about to me that even puts the B over the hump is his fourth quarter stats. Caleb was better in the fourth quarter, especially in the games like the Washington game or some of those other one-score games where the Bears got in position, but just some shit fucked up. Caleb played well in those situations. So because of that, things like not throwing the interception for a certain amount of passes. I think I saw earlier today that said that he's the first rookie in NFL history to have over 500 attempts and less than 10 interceptions. That has to count. The only reason why people are not going to give him higher than a C is because you're grading him against Jaden Daniels, who got Cliff Kingsbury. You're grading him against Bo Nix, who got Sean Payton. That man, coach got fired, offensive coordinator got fired, terrible offensive line. He was in a situation that was worse than what we thought, and he still capitalized on it. If this was any other season, we would have a conversation with him about Rookie of the Year. But CJ Stroud kind of messed it up with what he did last year, and then Jaden coming there again. So since he didn't do that and have those wins behind it, people are going to grade him lightly. But I'm giving him a B.
I wanted to answer this question in the chat. I think it's actually a good question because I actually argued this with my boy Herb Howard of the Bigs at the Thursday Night Football game. Jason Andrews says on the chat, if they kept Fields, do you all think different personnel decisions would have been made, putting the team close to the playoff Super Bowl as opposed to No, I don't, because they were coming into the season expecting to be in the playoff Super Bowl. This to me was the danger of them keeping Justin Fields, and this to me is what the issue is. If they would have kept Fields, right, and did the mystery haul that some Bears fans like to talk about. Imagine Justin with Shane Waldron, who I think we can all say is worse than Luke Getsy. And Justin doesn't have the talent of a Caleb Williams, so I believe the production would have been worse than what we got from Caleb Williams. The defense was worse than it was last year. And then you have the situation now where let's say you had the same record, and now you got to pay Justin.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin's going into his fifth season, and then you're not going to pay him. And then you're going to have to go in there and find a way to get a Shador or a Cam Moore. This is not a good QB class.
at
You know
all.
what I'm
Not at
saying?
all. Not at
And then
all.
you're gonna have to stretch for that as opposed to this. Yeah, it went well, but if there's one question, despite all of our grades, I think we're all pretty confident that we got the guy. That's the
Yeah.
hell you put yourself in if you keep Justin. And I think that was the deciding factor. And I love Marvin Harrison. But if you look at him and Roma Dunze's numbers, they're not that far apart.
Walk back up.
Right. My thing too is when you mentioned if you kept Fields, do you all think different personnel decisions would have been made? No, because whether it was Fields or Caleb, Ryan Poles was still inept at building the trenches. He still showed neglect in getting quality talent, starting level talent, to be on the offensive line to protect his quarterback. He failed to do it when Justin Fields was here. And in Caleb Williams' rookie year, he failed to do that. So, no, I don't think that was the case. I think it was, more along of, what we have all been saying and what, Scott just said. It came down to a financial factor. It came down to wanting to get your guy right. It came down to buying yourself more time. It came down to the fact that Caleb Williams is a better quarterback than Justin Fields as well, too. So, no, I don't think so. I think we still would have been in this same situation. Because there are still plenty of moves that we could critique, and we will, in coming weeks as we wait for this head coach search to go on, that, all lead back to Ryan Poles, inability to, to field a contending team.
Yeah. The only reason why I hate that question, is no disrespect to Jason. The only reason why I hate the question, and Jason might have been thinking about this and just didn't put it, but the financials behind it. Like when you ask that question, you have to understand the financials behind it. You would have had to pay Justin. I'll just say it like this. Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Shedeur Sanders, Cam Ward, homie from Penn State. Like he's better quarterbacks than those. So you would have to pay Justin because that would be the quarterback class that you would have to compare Justin to. I don't think that Justin is a better quarterback than Caleb. I don't. And the stats and everything proved that to be true. I don't think Justin Fields is not going to be a bad quarterback, though. But if we're looking at everything, again, you have to look at the financials. Caleb had a better season than Justin Fields, and Justin Fields' fourth season compared to Caleb's one. So the financials would say that you have a cheaper alternative in a rookie quarterback than Justin, where you would have to pay him, even if you say give him the Daniel Jones contract. Well, Daniel Jones got $40 million. So if we ask the question, so now knowing all of that, the financials, how the quarterback room looks, how could you make moves if now $40 million, if you pay them $40 a year, $40 million is dedicated to the quarterback position. So you couldn't go in and get all of that. You could not do that. And yeah, Damian, stats don't tell the full story of the player, but in this case, it does. Why? Because you got those stats from a quarterback that's going to be paid less than Justin Fields. So you needed to put Justin in a situation where financially you will get everything you need to get out of him. So yes, stats do matter. If you're paying Caleb, how much Caleb's getting this year?
I don't know. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but
he's getting the high rookie.
And he got a $25 million bonus. So
right.
Yeah.
So add that. That's still cheaper than what you would have paid to Justin. So stats don't tell the full story. The full story is the financials. With the stats, you would not have been able to get the people that you wanted to get if you have to pay Justin $40 million plus a bonus. So you would have to do different personnel decisions, but those personnel decisions wouldn't be what you thought it was going to be. You wouldn't get the money to go pay for a high-end tackle or a high-end guard or a high-end center. You wouldn't have the money to go out and get somebody like a Keith Byard to Kevin Byard. You wouldn't be able to go and get some of those people. You go get Justin, we can't even have a conversation about maybe we should go get Saquon. So again, stats and financials. Quarterback in his first year, quarterback in his fourth year, ready for an extension. The right decision was made. Anybody that's having a conversation about anything else is not thinking about the financials. They're just thinking about Madden football and how things look.
And yeah, I don't know if I would say in the chat it feels comparable to Hurts. I think that no. I think that Hurts is a better thrower than Justin. I think Hurts gets the ball out quicker than Justin. Justin's a better runner. But no, I'm not even a big Jalen Hurts guy, but I think Jalen's better than Justin Fields. So yeah, QB wins on a stat. So QB wins this.
We were arguing that they weren't a stat with Justin Fields. So you got the wrong guys here because we never argued that against Justin Fields. I get it. I get it that it is a very hot subject in Chicago, but I promise.
And it shouldn't be no more. The nigga been gone for a year.
Right. Not everybody feels the same way. This isn't, some of the. No, this ain't that. And also, the league is telling you what they think of Justin Fields. I don't understand what y'all don't see. There's not a million people banging on the door for him right now. He's on the bench.
I'm be honest. I don't think he's getting a starting job this offseason. I mean, I would like to for it.
He's gonna Indianapolis Colts with a quarterback with a QB competition with Anthony Richardson. That's the type of job he's gonna get.
That's again, crazy. It's the financials. Here's the challenge that I have for anybody that's having this conversation. Here's the challenge. Go look at the salary cap last year. And knowing this quarterback group that you have coming up with Shador and Cam Ward and homie from Penn State, you got to pay Justin. So my challenge to anybody is tell me financially what the Bears could have done once you got to pay him $40 million. If we're going to use the Daniel Jones contract, tell me what the Bears could have done with the cash flow that they would have had if they have to pay him $40 million for the next 2 seasons. Tell me. Once we have that, boom.
I'm with you on that one.
Fields was winning games to us. Justin Fields, they won 3 games, then they won 7 games, didn't do shit, and then they won another 5. I don't understand. No. I'm talking about in the comments.
No, Mikey. Fuck all that. Again, fuck all that. Tell me until that's why I said the challenge. Until somebody tells us financially how the Bears could have really improved themselves, because the haul is imaginary. The haul is imaginary. Until somebody say, because the haul is draft picks.
Yeah.
Ooh, we've seen what they've done with draft picks. The haul is draft picks. So again, I'm not having a conversation about no wins or what Justin did versus Caleb, because it's a quarterback in year 1 versus year 4. Until somebody tells me the financials and how the Bears could have improved themselves with the lack of money they would have had to go in free agency this year, with the money that they had, until somebody tell me what they could have done, I'm not having that conversation no more. Because this was a financial decision coming in to a player that was ranked, that would have been ranked higher than Justin if he would have came out the same year as Justin, which could have happened if the rules would have allowed it. If the rules would have allowed it, Caleb would have got drafted in front of Justin the same year Justin came out.
Yeah.
So again, it's financials. Tell me, once you give Justin that extension, what moves you making, Mr. Madden GM? You're not going to be able to make it.
I just want to say this, then we got to move on. Look, man, it's been a full season, man. Let's just stop bringing up Justin Fields. Much love to Justin. Hopefully he lands on his feet. But if you watch these last couple seasons, you still think that better quarterback. I don't know what to tell y'all. But anyway, let's move on because we gotta bring Courtney in about 10 minutes. So just quickly on the Bears coaching search. They started the process today. Now these are the confirmed names that they are either going to interview or they have reached out for permission to interview or just reached out to the schedule in general. So of course, Ryan Poles said they will be interviewing Thomas Brown. I think that there's nothing wrong. I know I saw people say, what's the point of interviewing him after what he did? Look, man, these people are also people. You know what I'm saying? He's been with the team all year. You know, he had a tough job. You at least get a nigga interview. He's not going to get hired. And even if you listen from Thomas Brown's post-game speech and even his interview at the podium today and also his interview with Jeff Joniak, he knows he's not coming out. But he's going to be interviewed. Ben Johnson, that was one of the first reports this morning. The Bears are reaching out to him. Now, remember, teams that are in the playoffs right now, they can be interviewed via Zoom. They can't be in person until the team gets eliminated. So Ben Johnson, they reach out to Ben Johnson, and Tom Pelissero says that he intends to meet with the Bears. Mike Vrabel will be interviewed by the Bears this week. Now, all signs point to this nigga going to New England. I think that's pretty much a foregone conclusion. But, you know, because these new NFL rules, both of these teams still got to go through the process. So he's going to be up. They reached out to Aaron Glenn, who's the Lions defensive coordinator. Great performance by them last night. This was a head scratcher. Mike Kafka, he's the Giants offensive coordinator. I don't get that one at all. Vance Joseph, the Broncos defensive coordinator. Drew Petzing, the Cardinals offensive coordinator. I don't get that one either. I know he got ties with Ryan Poles at Boston College. Anthony Weaver, which is the name we heard over the weekend. He is the Dolphins defensive coordinator. Arthur Smith, who former Falcons head coach, is currently the Steelers offensive coordinator. They've reached out to the Steelers for permission to interview him. Brian Flores, who's the Vikings defensive coordinator. News came out there, Mike McCarthy. Now, they're reaching out to Mike McCarthy for permission from the Cowboys, but they don't need permission after the 14th when McCarthy's contract runs out. And then we got a little nugget today that Jerry Jones said he would allow Mike McCarthy to interview other teams, but he said he would quickly shut down the door because he doesn't want to keep somebody here who doesn't want to be here. That's interesting wrinkle. And then one last name that was added before we got on air, Todd Monken, who was the Ravens offense coordinator. The Ravens have the number one ranked offense in the NFL. Those are going to be the guys. Now, I see a lot of people, why they interviewing him? Why they interviewing that? Now, I do want to see Liam Cohen and Joe Brady added to his list. I see no reason why they wouldn't. But I'm just going to say this. We don't need to overreact over every name that's being interviewed. It's a process. Just be interviewed doesn't mean they're going to be hired. And I understand the Bears do not deserve the benefit of the doubt. So whatever. You want to act how you want to act, but you're going to be doing a lot if you're going to be doing that. It's going to be a thorough search. I look at this list. To me, it's a healthy dose of offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. I don't want a defensive head coach. I am all Ben Johnson in. Now, there was news that looked like he was going to go to Jacksonville. But then this morning, stunning news, they're keeping their general manager, Trent Baalke. And that's something that a whole bunch of NFL media and people in the league have said they can't believe that the Jaguars did. So that kind of takes away Ben Johnson out of that. So now the Jaguars are handing Ben Johnson the Bears on a silver platter. The Bears just need to not Bears it. But until I see a text or tweet from Schefter or Rappaport or Biggs or whoever says that the Bears are expected to announce Ben Johnson as their whatever coach, I'm going to expect the Bears to fuck this up. Let's quickly go through this, and we got a quick talk about D Rose, and we're going to bring in Courtney. Mikey, what's your early thoughts on the process for the new head coach?
Only thing I care about is that it's an offensive-minded person. The Bears were 32nd in total offense. They were 31st in passing yards per game. They were 25th in rushing per game, 28th in points per game. It says it right there where the need is. Go and get you an offensive guy. I do hope it's Ben Johnson. I have been the number one Ben Johnson to Jacksonville guy for the last few weeks. But that was under the assumption that Trent Baalke was going to be gone because that's what we had been hearing, that they were going to clean house there and go all in. So the fact that they're keeping him, he's much more egregious than anything Ryan Poles has done. So hopefully, like you said, we can go ahead and get somebody like Ben Johnson. I just hope to hear that we are going to be interviewing Joe Brady and Liam Cohen soon too.
Bang, what's your early thoughts on this process?
I mean, I actually would not mind Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big Mike McCarthy fan, but for somebody who has experience, who has won everywhere he's went, he has a Super Bowl. When we talk about experience and somebody who has groomed quarterbacks, he groomed Aaron Rodgers. He had great seasons with good seasons with Dak Prescott. Like, I don't see nothing wrong with Mike McCarthy because he's been there. However, I don't want Mike McCarthy. I'm just saying I don't mind him.
Mike McCarthy's like if you can't get none of the big names.
Right. It's like, yo, I can't when Mike McCarthy is like when your mom say, yo,
we got Mike Holmgren at home.
Yeah, we got Big Macs at home, fam. We'll make one. That's Mike McCarthy
at home.
and then your mom make good hamburgers. So you're like, man, I want McDonald's, but fuck it. Mom straight with the hamburger and fries. I want Ben Johnson though, for multiple reasons. One, I just love what the Detroit Lions. I know what I said about Detroit Lions, y'all. I love what was going on over there. The other thing that I love is that you're depleting your division rival. And with Aaron Glenn looking like he's going to go to New Orleans, and then you have Ben Johnson, then you deplete that, and then you'll really see who over there running things. You might even be able to get a couple of people off of the staff and everything too. So that's what I would love, off of the strength of not just, I believe in Ben Johnson, but you take away pieces of a coaching staff that's really making the Detroit Lions the team that they are right now.
Definitely, man. One last topic in the local out, and we're gonna wrap this up and bring Courtney and Tosin in for hour two. The Bulls, Chicago Bulls, man. Derrick Rose night happened at the UC on Saturday, and this is the first Bulls game I watched in full, probably about 2 years. First time I watched a Bulls game in full. Bulls found a way to come back and beat the Knicks, but Derrick Rose, this was a great week for him, man. There was a lot of things going on in the city. Mayor Johnson, aka Mayor Fro folks, he made January 4th D Rose Day. Nice documentary that he shot. D Rose getting into his filmmaking bag, and they finally announced that they will be adding another jersey into the United Center Raptors. Derrick Rose will be the 5th Chicago Bull with his jersey retired, of course, joining Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, Michael Jordan, of course, Scottie Pippen. I saw a couple people say they wonder why they didn't do the jersey retirement this year, and I'm like, those things take a while, but also the main important thing here is the Bulls have nothing but nostalgia. So Jerry Reinsdorf, Michael Reinsdorf, they gonna get all of us all suckered up again next year when the jersey retirement has, and just focus on nostalgia, because this is what this franchise does best. They want you to think about the good times. If it's not Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Rodman, or D Rose and Joakim Noah eras, there's nothing else to talk about with this franchise. So from that point is why they're extending that. They don't care about the product on the field, but just on D Rose alone, I thought it was a great weekend for him. I really love to see the flowers he got, not just from Bulls fans, but across the league. I think Derrick Rose, I forgot who tweeted this. I don't know if it was our guy Larry Legend or somebody else, was like, Russell Westbrook ended up with a better career, obviously, because he didn't get hurt. But just even league-wise, Russell Westbrook doesn't have half the love that Derrick Rose gets. And I'm not talking just in Chicago, just league-wide. And it made me feel old. D Rose graduated high school the same year. We had mutual friends.
Bought that nigga piece.
Yeah, bought that nigga some piece. Yeah, what I'm saying? We had mutual friends in high school together. So when I have people say, "Oh, I grew up watching D Rose," it makes me feel ancient, because that's the same class. I remember being at the UIC Pavilion to watch Simeon take on Oak Hill in like 2007. You know what I'm saying? So I remember those times. And so it made me feel old, but it was just amazing to see him get the love. He definitely deserves his jersey retired. So it's definitely going to be good to see that, despite the fact that the Reinsdorf can't fool me with the nostalgia money grab. I thought it was a good weekend. Mikey, any quick thoughts before we wrap this up?
Nah, man, Pooh's a legend. Really, when he, kind of when the injuries happened and then he had to depart from the Bulls and they kind of went their own way. That was kind of when I really lost my love for watching the Bulls night in, night out, because it just wasn't the same. Like, he really was appointment television. To your Russell Westbrook point, you're 100% right. But also, I think it's very hard to find love for any player in the league right now. Even maybe only LeBron, because those two players had two similar stories, and they're the only two to grow up being a fan of the team that you play for and be drafted by that team, and have to live up to those expectations. So Derrick is one of us. He will always be one of us. We're class of 07 here. And, love to see it. I'll definitely be there for the jersey retirement. And, he deserves all his flowers. And I'm glad that, they're doing right by him.
Yeah, and I think it was, we were talking about with the love yen, even with LeBron, it was different with LeBron, because LeBron's even said himself, like, Cleveland don't rock with Akron niggas. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a different thing for them as well, man. But definitely, Bang, any thoughts on the D Rose?
Nah, man, I thought it was amazing from what I saw on social, because I can't get that Chicago Sports Network shit.
Oh, I definitely did the free trial and then canceled.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying to do that shit because I fucking forget. But from what I saw on social was what I needed to see. Like, man, first of all, Orlando, I didn't go to school with goddamn Ronnie Fields.
He said you graduated.
I was in the 7th fucking grade when he broke his neck. All right, y'all niggas listen to First Black Champ, because I said on First Black Champ, I want Cody Rhodes' neck to be broken, and he had a halo and shit on Raw and shit tonight. But nah, man. I thought it was amazing, and it was amazing simply because he's from the crib, and I ain't never seen nothing like that. Like, I know players have been on teams that they grew up and lived in that, but from what I saw and everything that led up to it, just like how he owned that whole last moment. As a Chicago nigga, we got to do a better job at owning moments. We got to do a better job at for lack of a better word or term.
Niggas be too cool, man.
Yeah, we be too cool. Like, to see Derrick Rose, for a lack of a better term, get his flowers, to get his roses, and really take it in, and how he was talking to his son. Like, you want to be good, or you want to be great, all of those things. That, to me, I learned a lot about, like, being able to own moments like that. I just thought it was dope. It was amazing. It made me anticipate getting his jersey retired more. Like, everything I saw that night made me feel like, damn, I can't wait till y'all retire his. If y'all did this right, I can only imagine what y'all gonna do next year when y'all retire his jersey.
Yeah, and I killed the Bulls for a lot, rightfully so. But I do believe they did that event right. It was well put together. It was everything that the Bulls Ring of Honor was not. So definitely love them. Definitely looking forward to next year. Like, I'm with Mikey. I don't care how much it costs. I'm gonna be in the UC for that night. You know what I'm saying? GD number going up in the Raptors, man. We got here a round of applause for that. Folks up in the Raptors. But we're gonna take a quick break, man. Real
quick. I just thought about this. This is a great moment for GDs, because you got Derrick Rose and that shit. Terrell Suggs might be in the Hall of Fame. Like, it might be an all-time sports year for GDs.
No, for real.
All we need is Zach Randolph to get into the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Zach Randolph got judge retired in Memphis, so you know.
Great moment.
They're doing something out there, man. But we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back on the other end, and we're gonna talk some NFL football, man, with Tosin and Courtney. We'll be right back.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we code too. Getting paper on display, haters old news, money on the other line. on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna bring in the rest of the squad now, man. And like I said, you got to bear with me today. Dante's not here, and neither is Nikhil. So I'm producing and hosting at the same time, man. We've got Courtney and Tosin in the building, man, to begin hour two. Tosin's gonna be filling in for Dante because Dante that moved up like the goddamn Jefferson, so he cannot be here on Mondays. So Tosin will be holding it down for us in the meantime. You know what I'm saying? Courtney, how you feeling? I know you know y'all. You took an L last week. We'll get that later. But how you feeling?
Oh, I mean, physically right now, I'm fighting for my physically, I'm fighting for my fucking life today. I went to the Cowboys game yesterday, and it was a long day. It was a long day. This is exactly why I don't go to NFL games, because you go to a 12 o'clock game, and before you know it, you're not home until like midnight, and yeah. So we're hurting a little bit today. I have mourned my ASU loss. I know we'll talk about that in the show later, but yeah, we're struggling.
You dealing with a little bit of cold out there in Dallas too.
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
You have not been able to survive in the asylum we grew in.
No, correct. I would not last a second. I'm getting out of here this weekend though, so I'm going to be traveling. So I will not be here to deal with the snow. Apparently, they're calling for snow. I don't know.
Yeah, small snow. But Tosin, how you feeling, brother? I know. You feeling good out here. AFC North champions once again, back to back. How you feeling?
Yeah. I'm great, man. I got a lot of words for Dan Orlovsky today. Oh, I got some. Bang, you gonna love me today. I got some words for that man today. I'm fantastic. I'm great. Happy New Year to everybody, by the way.
Happy New Year, everybody. Tomorrow. Today's the last day. If you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. No.
Yeah. I feel like you get a week.
Yes, it's the last day.
Yeah, last day. No Happy New Year's after the 7th, man. But let's get into Black Monday, which I don't like them calling it Black Monday, by the way. Why it gotta be black? Why black gotta equal bad, nigga? Like, it should be White Monday, nigga. If we going off the history of America, nigga, it should be White Monday. But anyway, the news about what happened today, firings happened. Of course, we know Gerard Mayo got let go like 45 minutes after the game yesterday. Doug Peterson of the Jacksonville Jaguars got fired this morning, but they kept their GM, Trent Baalke. We talked about a little bit about that in the local hour. Brian Daboll is staying. Joe Schoen, the general manager, staying also. If you ever want to see a general manager who should have lost his job off a TV show, go ahead and watch last year's Giants offseason Hard Knocks. I'd have fired him before the season started. He survives. Antonio Pearson survived. He said he ain't heard nothing. So not as many firings today that we thought going on, but the process has already started with these different interviews we went to. The Bears are looking for. Before we get to, I just want Tosin, your opinion on your offensive coordinator, who the Bears reached out to interview today, Todd Monken. I know you last year y'all had Greg Roman. You saying you can't stand Greg Roman. What would be the difference you've seen with Monken compared to Greg Roman?
Todd is actually an adult who's actually won stuff. So there's that. But no, it's just like we've actually figured out balance in our team, right? It's like obviously Lamar can throw the hell out of a ball. He can run the ball as well. We also got Derrick Henry now. So it's like now we're trying to balance that out between having Lamar and Derrick. And then it also helps that we actually have wide receivers who can catch the ball now. So it's like pick your poison with the Ravens. It's literally just like either you're going to try and stop the run or we're going to find Zay and Bate and, all the other tight ends we got. So it's just a really, really balanced offense. And he's gotten the best out of Lamar too. But it's also T. Martin as well, who won with Tennessee as a player. He's helped Lamar out a lot too. So it's just a completely functional offense that's like really made Lamar look even better. He's just great at what he does. And then it helps that you got an offensive coordinator who actually knows how to get the best out of this guy. But sometimes they get a little too cute. Like when we're playing against the Browns, they try to do some like dumb stuff with Derrick Henry. It's like, yo, just give Derrick Henry, put the ball in the I formation. Like you got a 305-pound fullback, just run it. So they just get a little too cute sometimes, but it's looking good.
Is there anything about any of the Black Monday hirings or not hiring, but firings, people they kept that kind of stood out to you?
Nah. I mean, other than like Trent should have got fired, the
Yeah.
Jags coordinator, I mean, and the Giants, but I mean, no, nothing really surprised me. I mean, wasn't really shocked about Gerard Mayo. I was even shocked that he even lasted that long in the first place. So, you know,
Right.
they don't give black coaches that long of a leash.
Yeah, I was more shocked that Robert Kraft came out and was like, "Yeah, we fired him, but yeah, we fucked him over." Like I was more shocked that they.
What y'all gonna do about it?
Like I don't know if Meek Mill said something to Robert Kraft, like, "Yo, you got to at least tell him, like, yo, y'all fucked him over a bit." Like, yo, they really admitted, like, "Hey, we made a lot of mistakes. He had to go, but it's our fault." I've never seen an NFL team basically say, "No, it's my fault."
He really said, like, yeah, I made a mistake in hiring him and basically, hiring. He wasn't ready. Like, it was too early.
Yeah,
I was looking into a lot of it, and it's just with a team that's that young, it just didn't seem like his personality meshed well. And anytime you call your locker room soft, it's going to be hard for guys to rally around that. He had to walk back a lot of stuff in the press throughout the year. He called out his OC and the media. Then he had to go back and walk that back. He's pointing a lot of fingers at people, but not holding accountability for himself. So, and listen, let's also be real too. Mike Vrabel is available and he's ready. There's reports that he solely interviewed with the Jets job just to put the pressure on Robert Kraft to not let him go there and to fire Mayo. We know it's the Patriots way. It's a family thing. They're gonna go ahead and bring him home, and I don't blame them for wanting to take advantage of Vrabel being available.
Robert Kraft did what Rick James did on Chappelle. So yeah, I'm gonna put my feet on Eddie Murphy couch. That's exactly what Robert Kraft did.
Yo, did y'all see what Gronk was saying and how they basically cut
he was about to go off.
Yeah, he was about to go off. And that's and maybe Gronk about to go off made Robert Kraft go, "Yeah, we fucked up. Let me admit that shit." Because I've never seen an ownership basically be like, "Yeah, we fire him, and it's our fault we fire him. Like, we fucked up." Like, I've never seen that.
It's like, I don't want to do this, man. Y'all forced me to do this. Y'all see who available right now. Like, we got to bring another expatriate home. And also I feel like Robert Kraft, he wants to look good for the fan base because Patriots fans are not happy with this nigga right now, especially with the way they portrayed Bill in the documentary, how Bill left the organization to begin with. And really, we see the Patriot way ain't shit without Tom Brady. The Patriot way was Tom Brady, nigga. Like, it's even funny that you had Tom Brady just call games. They were like 7-time Super Bowl champions. Like, I forgot that I watched him win 7 Super Bowls. Like, it's still an asinine number. That's what the Patriot way is. So I feel like they're like, yeah, we did them bogus, but you'll feel better in about a week or two. So I wouldn't be like the only reason they ain't announced them yet because of the Rooney Rule and they got to go through the process. That's the only reason they ain't like, yeah, we bringing Buddy home.
We got to interview some niggas.
We got to interview some niggas. Or as Dominique Foxworth said on Lebatard Day, so I can go up there, just walk around Foxborough just to get the color up there. They just give me lunch and I can leave. Then you go out there and hire Vrabel. That's basically all they gonna do, man. But the thing that stood out to me was really the GM for the Jaguars thing, because Mikey kept saying all week he's gonna go to Jaguars. And I denied that I accepted it on Friday night. I accepted it that Ben Johnson's probably gonna go to the Jaguars. When I woke up this morning, I saw that I was like, we have a chance. Like, I'm like, at this point, if you're a Lake Forest real estate agent, you might as well get in contact with Ben Johnson's people. Like, because Ben Johnson's only going to take interviews with people that he actually wants to interview. So as long as the Bears don't bears it up, and let's be very clear, they can and they will. This is something where I feel like it's an easy thing here, and it lets you show that as bad as the Bears are, there are some franchises that are a little more stupid. And also, outside of I think the attraction, if they would have got rid of Balky, was being able to pick your own general manager. Nobody cares about Jacksonville. There's no state tax in Florida, and you're in a weak-ass division. That I can understand. But Trevor Lawrence is who he is. He's going to his 5th season. Ain't nothing special about this nigga. As much as I love Ben Johnson, I don't think he's doing that much with him. Maybe he will, but I don't think that'll be the case. But Courtney, is anything shocking to you about any of these Black Monday news or no?
The only thing that really has stood out to me today is how the Cowboys are handling this Mike McCarthy. Okay, it's the end of his contract, right? Like, you know, if you want to let him go. But don't that quote y'all sent in the chat. What did he say? Let me pull that back up. Oh yeah, that he'd grant permission to other teams if McCarthy wanted to talk to them, but he made it clear that it would likely end his time in Dallas because it's not healthy to have somebody else that wants to be someplace else. Brother, what? This is literally your fault. I fucking hate the Cowboys. Like, it's, you know, that meme of Tim Robinson where he's like in the hot dog costume and he's like, we're all trying to find the person who did this.
Yeah, exactly.
Brother, it's your fault. You're the reason why nobody wants to fucking be there.
Yeah, exactly. And the not Cowboy, but the Giants are just as stupid. I don't think Daboll's issue as much as the GM is the issue. I think Daboll just ain't got no damn quarterback. I'm gonna shoot Daboll some bail. I have no idea what that general manager's still there. And then John Mara went up and said, "Well, I'm losing my patience." Fire him then. Like, you ain't losing that much. I hate when owners say they're getting impatient about not winning and they're doing everything to not help their team win. It's like, if I hear one more time about how much Virginia McCaskey doesn't like when the Bears lose, I'm gonna lose. Like,
I was reading that that John Mara really just doesn't have the energy or the desire to go through that process this month. Like, he just doesn't have the energy to go through the GM and head coach shit, which is kind of crazy to me. Like, you don't want to do your job. Like,
don't want to do your job.
Like, letting
maybe
it be.
You should sell the team.
Yeah. It's crazy what Shad Khan is doing in Jacksonville. Because Trent Baalke must have videos of him doing something on the yacht or something crazy, because there's no way that you keep him. And I contend that Jaguars roster is a better fit than the Chicago Bears roster. And if you were to give him a GM that he can be in alignment with, and that's a very winnable division. So I'll be happy if they will shoot themselves in the foot and maintain Baalke. Like, I'm hoping that they don't see how much pushback this is getting in the public and in the press and make like a 25th hour decision to go ahead and fire Baalke, last minute to open up that door for Ben Johnson. But I just can't believe that they're keeping him.
I mean, that could always happen, but from the way he was talking, that nigga sounds pretty defined. And also, them rich niggas, man, they don't be caring what niggas be saying. But it would be peak Bears for them to say, you know what? I changed my mind. We're going to fire the nigga. But let's move on to the NFL playoffs. Super Wildcard Weekend kicks off this weekend. We got a good slate of football starting on Thursday with the 2 college football playoff games. But let's go over some of the matchups and just give our thoughts on the matchup. We ain't going to make picks. We'll wait till Friday to make picks. But on Saturday, we kick off. I feel like every playoff that the Texans have been in ever are always the first game. Like, let's get these boring-ass niggas out the way right now. Like, from the little of existence back to whenever who their quarterback before that. Like, they've always been the first game. So they will kick it off on Saturday on CBS, hosting Justin Herbert, Jim Harbaugh, and the Los Angeles Chargers. Then we got the first ever playoff game on Amazon Prime, division rivalry. We got Tosin's Ravens hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been very ass these last couple weeks. Third time they're playing. Then triple header on Sunday. You got the Bills opening up against Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos on CBS. You've got the Eagles and the Packers on Fox. Now, Jalen Hurts is still in concussion protocol today. I will be stunned if he doesn't play. They'll lie about that nigga's test before they sit him out in a playoff game. But that's what the report is right now. He's still in concussion protocol. Christian Watson has a torn ACL. He's out for the rest of the season. Jordan Love is expected to play. They don't know how well he's going to play because that elbow and that arm are still very much hurt from yesterday. And then the nightcap on Sunday will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. And, of course, the Monday Night Football playoff game on ESPN. It will be the NFC West champion Los Angeles Rams taking on the Minnesota Vikings, who got their shit pushed in yesterday on Sunday Night Football. That's my thoughts on this. Looking at these matchups, I think these are going to be some real competitive games. I think the game I care the least about is Bills Broncos. I think the Broncos going to get a welcome to the NFL moment for Bo Nix.
Crazy disrespectful. This is the sleeper game of the weekend. I'm telling you right now.
That's the upset potential game there. No bullshit, right?
I think the upset potential is Rams Vikings.
Hey, let me tell you
that wouldn't even be an upset at this point.
Let me tell you this. Let the Bills lose on Sunday. I dare them. I dare them to lose on Sunday.
Ooh.
I dare them.
Hey, if they lose, McDermott might have to have a conversation.
That's a conversation that's needed to have for 2 seasons, but just saying. Ken Dorsey is the problem, though, right?
I know that Courtney, you're a big Bomani fan, Bomani Knicks, but I don't see it for them. I don't see it for them whatsoever.
Sean Payton starts calling some crazy shit. I'm just saying.
I'm always gonna be.
Let me tell you right now. Let me ask you right now. Who got the better defense?
Denver.
All right, it's gonna be a close one. We gonna get one.
I'm not saying they're gonna blow them out. I think it's gonna be a rough game for Bo Nix.
Hey man, Vance Johnson might get him another job after this weekend.
Talk to him, man.
All I'm saying is PS2 is the greatest nickname I've ever heard in sports in a while. Really, that is an amazing nickname. Really and I haven't seen Josh Allen throw a BLT in a while, so I'm waiting for that.
He's due. He is so due.
Absolutely.
He's due for the BLT. We saw a lot of BLTs get thrown in downtown Detroit yesterday. I still don't. Darnold, them bright lights was a little bit too bright for Samuel yesterday. And I know Goff having a really good year, but I see the same nigga he always is. Deep down in him, it shows up every now and then. You can't hide it anywhere. But look at this, man. I think that the most boring game is Texans Chargers. Anything involved, the Texans have just not had a good year.
Talk about the Charger bye?
Yeah, right, exactly. I expect the Chargers to go out there and win that game by double digits. I think that Harbaugh's gonna have a good game coach, and I think that you're really gonna see Justin Herbert have a great game out there as well. But I just don't like what the Texans have done this year, and I like to be right about things. I said this after week 2 when they beat the Bears. I'm like, something's off. I'm watching them in person. Like, something is off with this team. Something is off with not Lamar, but with CJ Stroud. By the way, CJ Stroud, after trying to little bro Caleb Williams, did not go so well for him after that. And if you look at him and Bryce Young got the same TD interception ratio. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying about CJ. I think CJ in the long run to be fine.
Hey, look, CJ Stroud is the reason why all of these numbnuts that's having a conversation about Caleb. You better watch the fuck out.
These the same niggas are also the praising Jaden Daniels. The same praise they gave CJ. CJ was in MVP conversation to begin the year, which I thought was asinine. But Bobby Slow. I'm not letting Bobby Slow off the hook. I'm not letting the offensive line out the hook. Like, this is not all on CJ. This is our offensive line, and Bobby Slow don't know what he's calling out there. But
hey, Scott,
the Chargers can get this. Yeah.
To add to your point about the offensive line, I remember when the Texans played against the Jets on Thursday Night Football, right? And I saw the offensive line. Most of them had Jordans on. I was like, oh yeah, this is not a good offensive line. I do not want my offensive line wearing Jordans. Okay, go get you some Air Force 2s or something. Get some high top shoes. I don't want my offensive lineman wearing Jumpmans.
I want my offensive line saying, yeah, look at Kamala certifying them votes. Real justice has been served at Trump backing off. That's why I want my offensive lineman.
Today's January 6th, right? That's
6th,
yeah. I want my offensive lineman to celebrate today. That's what I want.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I have not thought about that until you just said it. Yeah, I need all my offensive linemen to be Trump supporters.
Yeah. Exactly. I need them niggas be named Gunner. Like, I need a couple of gunners on the offensive line. Like, I want niggas with a cowboy card block. I don't want to hear this nigga shit. Like, that's
I'm only drafting linemen that got Ford F-150 NIL.
Yes.
I'm looking at the NIL receipts. Anybody with the Raptor truck, the F-150, the Tacoma hatchback, all of that, those are the guys I want on the O-line.
I need somebody who drives a Silverado. That's what I need. I need somebody who, that's what I need. I need that.
My offensive linemen need to know how to fish. Like they got to be like how Joe Thomas was. He's like, fuck going to the draft. I'm going to go fish.
Yeah, we had.
They gotta have a wrestling background in high school.
Hey, to add to your point, Tyler Linderbaum, he did wrestling against Tristan Wirfs in high school.
I want who still wear Degeneration Next shirts.
Yeah. My offensive
you look
line.
at the old linemen though. If you look at some of the best old linemen, they got that wrestling background, man.
Yeah.
It's
I need my offensive linemen to only like the black people that's on their team. Like that's
you're one of the good ones.
Yeah, you're one of the good ones. I could take you home to my family. Yeah. Dad
Basically the Kittle family, right? That's how it's looking on.
Yo, the Ravens got an offensive guard that went to Georgia, Ben Cleveland. This man says that he goes hunting for squirrels every time he's down home. I was like, that's what I need. That's how I know Lamar's safe. Yeah,
he will be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Women be worried that their men are cheating, and then these are just the kind of conversations that they're out having.
Yeah, and niggas can block. That's all that matters. So what you think about this matchup with the Steelers? This is with my concern, if I have any concern for y'all. And I granted the Steelers offense is ass.
Yeah.
Right now, I love Mike T. But we need to start having conversations how this nigga be ending these seasons. But
we interviewing Arthur Smith.
Yeah. I mean, look, you interview how you interview. As long as this nigga ain't a finalist, it don't really matter to me. But
I don't know. I don't. I'm sorry. It feels like a natural fit. Like they would love that Nepo baby. It feels like
who would love
the Bears.
The Bears.
It really actually feels very true.
No, it would be peak Bears. I'm just saying I'm not gonna get mad about who they interviewing. Just I better not hear that be a finalist. But Tosin, is there anything about facing a team 3 times, especially a team that knows you so well as Steelers, and the first 2 times you guys have played have gone down to the wire? Is there any concern from that despite how well you guys been playing?
The only thing that concerns me about the Ravens is the Ravens. That's the only thing that concerns me about them. It's just, can y'all not be unserious for once? Just be serious human beings. And Brandon Stevens scares the shit out of me. But other than that, it's just, they know what they got to do. After the game that we beat the Browns on Sunday, it was, what's his name? Derrick Henry basically was like, look, I was in the championship 5 years ago. Y'all was here last year. We know what we have to do. Everybody lock in. And they all know what time it is. So that's the only thing I'm like happy about is that they know it's not time to bullshit. So Zay cut off his locks today too. So I guess everybody's like locked in. So, there's that.
I told my boy Kev, who works for him, he produced Amazon Prime Thursday Night Football. I was like, enjoy Baltimore, my nigga. He was hoping they was gonna send him to LA. I was like, no, tell McNulty and Bunk I said what up, nigga. Have a good time. Is there any Mike, what be your sneaky matchup on here outside of like Bills Broncos?
Outside of Bills Broncos, I really don't see it because I think all of us will probably lean towards the Eagles taking care of the Packers. That Bucks Commanders game is interesting. Bills Broncos is the one. I think the Ravens handle the Steelers. Texans try. Yeah, Bills Broncos. I mean, the Rams and Vikings is going to be good. But I can take. Let's just be real. I'll take Matthew Stafford in the playoff game over Sam Darnold. Especially at home. So that I would say the Bills Broncos is a sneaky one, and then the Monday night game is anybody's game.
I really like that Bucks Commanders game, man. I think that's going to be a pretty exciting game. Like, you got Baker. Baker loves, we got real gunslinger. You got rookie Jaden Daniels' first playoff appearance. And Bunny Colvin really tried to trick that game off last night. It did not look like they wanted to win that game last night. So that's a little bit intriguing to me. Courtney, I know you said the same thing about the Broncos, but anything that stands out to you in this slate?
No, not really. I'm not trying to be funny. No, not really. I'm not moved by too many of these matchups. Bucks Commanders might be a little interesting. Could be interesting. And yeah, what would you just call the Chargers Texans game? The Chargers bye week bang?
Yeah. Chargers bye week.
Yeah. I'm not moved by any of these games except for Broncos Bills.
Bang, what's your thoughts on this line? Go ahead. My bad, Toss. Go ahead.
remember I told you I had something for Dan, and I just remembered it just now. Do y'all remember Dan kept saying that Josh is doing less with like whatever he's doing more with less? Y'all remember him saying that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So May 24th, 2024, he tweeted, and I quote, "Too many people sleep on the Bills. I will place the Bills' offensive pieces top 5 in the AFC when it comes to diversity of matchups. They won't be a traditional number 1 guy, but they can deploy." And they named a whole bunch of people: Kincaid, Cox, Knox, Coleman, Cook, MVS, Shakir, Samuel. And he says Josh has to play PG 90% of the time and 10% the reason why they win / make big plays. All I'm saying is this man's been lying about the MVP all season. And I'm disgusted in the fact like I found this tweet because I'm just like, you literally have been saying all season that he's been doing less or more, but you said in your own account that he has to play point guard 90% of the time. He doesn't have to really do that much. But now he's the reason why he's MVP. Whatever. That's all I gotta say is that like it's disgusting what's happening in real time. It's really nasty work.
Dan Orlovsky tweeted yesterday, Caleb is a fighter, man. I'm like, oh, the same Caleb who you said is not developing, brother? Like,
He also said today that he would take, if it was Ben Johnson, if you're the Patriots, you could take Drake May. If you're the Bears, you could go with Caleb Williams. And he said he would take the Patriots because I forgot the word he used with Drake May, but it sounded
Moxley.
like one of those. Yes, it was a long one of those. The terminology was similar to that, but then he was coming up with hypotheticals like with the Bears. You know what you got. You got the skilled players are there. He was saying, if you're the Patriots, you got Drake May. I'm Ben Johnson. I could get T. Higgins. I could get Emeka from Ohio State. And it's like, what makes you think T. Higgins want to go there? What makes you think you're going to be in a position like you're just talking about hypothetical bullshit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what he'd be doing, man. But Bang, any thoughts on Slate before we move on?
Oh no, Bucks Commanders. That's the game. I think that's going to be the game of the weekend, and I'm picking the team that I don't think nobody else is going to pick to win that game.
The Commandos? Everybody, you think everybody picking the Bucks?
Oh yeah, from everything that I see, everybody's picking the Bucks. I think the Bucks is going to get in that ass.
Well, this is the perfect time to move on to my NFL top 5 hate watch list. Since my team will not be participating in January football, and they have not participated in January football in about 6 years. In fact, today is the anniversary of the double doink. Go to hell, NFL, for reminding me with that post. So yeah, it's been a long time. So I'm going to be hate watching. This is who is on my top 5 hate watch list for the playoffs. I'm going to start 5-1. Now, I don't know if Tosin saw this tweet, but I finally gave Lamar's props like a month or 2 ago. So I think he should be MVP. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I like being right more than anything. And I still want to be right about the playoffs. So I've got the Baltimore number 5. Don't get mad at me, Tosin. I got Baltimore number 5 on my hate watch list. What is that?
Nah, that's fine. Listen, this is good. Like, makes me happy. It makes me happy.
I got them at number 5 on my hate watch list. At number 4, obviously, I'm going with the NFC North team. I'm going with the Minnesota Vikings. Number 4 on my hate watch list. Number 3, this one needs no explanation whatsoever because of who these niggas are and the hell they brought me, except for last night. The Green Bay Packers are number 3 on my hate watch list. It's just nothing like watching them lose in the playoffs. Now, it's not as fulfilling as watching Aaron Rodgers with the Packers lose because Jordan Love isn't a hateable guy. Aaron Rodgers is a hateable guy. So when Jordan Love is a good dude, he just wearing the wrong jersey. And I don't think this team is that good. We have the same division record as them. But they're the Packers, man. So I'm putting them at number 3 on my hate watch list. Number 2. Going to watch the Commanders. I'm going to watch the Commanders because of my beef with Commanders fans this year. DC Reddit, Commander fan Reddit, have not been friends with me this season. They still comment on that YouTube video, calling me idiot. Now what? So I am preying on your downfall. This has nothing to do with Jaden Daniels. I like Jaden Daniels, but for the fact of me being right, this is what this entire list is about. Me being right. I need them to lose this Saturday against Tampa Bay. So I'm rooting for them as rooting down for them as well. But number one on my NFL playoff top 5 hate watch list, the Detroit Lions. Because their fans forgot where they came from. They really did. They really forgot where they came from. The amount of stuff that I've heard from family members from Detroit Lions fans, from our guy Chuck English, who is going to be on here on Friday talking about the Lions. Y'all forget y'all went 0-16. Y'all forget that as bad as it's been for the Bears, at least I've seen the Super Bowl. At least I've seen a couple of NFC Championship games. Not granted, y'all went last year, blew it up, but I need them to lose because I'm tired of the talk from this fan base like they the San Francisco 49ers. So I need to see it there on top of them being the NFC North Division champions. And I would love for that window to close for them. We take the offensive coordinator and we go on and life is back to normal. So I am 100% rooting against the Detroit Lions, even though I preseason picked them to make the Super Bowl. But I'm still hate watching the Detroit Lions on this. That's my top 5 hate watch list. I know, Ben, you said nobody cares about the Detroit Lions. Are you actively rooting against them?
Yeah, I'm actively rooting against them, so we can get on ahead and get this damn coaching. Let's wrap this shit up, B. I don't give a damn who they play first in the divisional round. Whoever they playing, I am rooting for them. So we go ahead and knock this out the park. Go ahead and lose. Offense looks good. Defense looks terrible. Go ahead and get this out the way. So then they could be like the Chicago Bears. The next day, the Chicago Bears announced that Ben Johnson is the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Like, just go ahead and knock that shit out. So that's what I'm hate watching because I just want to get this shit out the way.
Hey,
Mikey,
Scott.
My bad. Go ahead, Tosin.
I got a question for you, all of you actually, especially if let's say the Ravens do lose. Y'all think John Harbaugh's gonna go if they lose?
That's a good question. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he got that legacy thing. He should have been fired a couple years ago, but Lamar saved his life. But I would be shocked if they moved. That's because he's been there so long. If anything, it would be a mutual parting of ways. I can see.
He's doing something now that he did when he won the Super Bowl. I don't know if you remember in 2012, he benched Brian McKinney basically the whole season. In the playoffs, it's like, all right, I'm starting Brian McKinney. He did this now with like Andrew Voorhees, randomly playing left guard, and he's killed it the last 2 games he's played. And it's just like, that's some random shit that John does. He's just a weird dude, man. I can't really call it with him. So, but that's just randomly came to my mind. And when you said the Ravens hate, well, I was like, wait, what happens if we do lose? Does he get fired? Because I know some of our fans hate him. They cannot stand that man.
Yeah, I think for the MVP race, which we're going to get into in a minute, with Lamar and Josh Allen both kind of have to play flawless because the other fan base, especially if they're still in the playoffs, is going to go at it. So I think I'll be shocked if you get fired. Or is anybody you hate watching outside of the obvious Pittsburgh Steelers?
I hate watch everybody, man. But specifically the Bills. Like I need them to lose. Their fans are the biggest babies I've seen on social media. So it's something in me. But yeah, hey, it's not James Harden because James Harden's fat and Lamar's not. So let's not do that.
Lamar's NFL James Harden. Mike, is anybody you hate watching?
I mean, always the NFC North. Always, your division people. But also, I'm not actively rooting for them, but I kind of want them to kind of like the Lions. I kind of want to see the Lions in the NFC Championship game because to me, I just think that's just like more a slap in the face to the McCaskey family and to the people, over at Hallis Hall.
You said George is eating Salisbury steak and applesauce. You don't care.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I really don't hate watch on any of the teams outside of really the Packers. I think they are going to get their shit pushed in as long as Jalen Hurts plays. But anybody that is not on my parlay ticket, I am hating on them.
Courtney, any hate watches?
You know me. I am always actively rooting against Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's due for a bozo game. And I fear
there's a lot of people who you waiting for it, Toast. My brother is foaming from the mouth for Josh Allen to have a bad game. This nigga that went through the history of everything. Well, if you look at it, Lamar should definitely be MVP. When do we start caring about narratives? This nigga went on a whole little rant. So he's definitely waiting for it. Like he didn't look at all of
kind of crazy though.
Touchdowns. And
I've seen him. He's been going nuts on the timeline.
Yeah,
bro.
Exactly.
He might have a ticket on Lamar to win, I think, at this point, the way he's going. But it's crazy, like the argument that people are trying to use for Lamar to be MVP this year. In actuality, that's the argument that people were trying to have last year for Josh Allen, because last year Josh Allen had a better statistical season than Lamar. I think to me, my MVP, what I saw with my eyes, I think Joe Burrow is the MVP. But NFL is the only league that doesn't give that award to a team that, right, and the NBA as well too. But like you look at Major League Baseball, we've seen Mike Trout win, we've seen Ohtani win, we've seen people, strictly on stats. Like Joe Burrow is up there for me. But yeah, it's funny seeing your brother fucking go crazy over that.
He been adamant about it, bro. That nigga won't let it go. I'm like, yeah, like you said, he gotta have some money on. That's the only thing I got right now. Let's quickly talk about Tyreek Hill, man. Tyreek Hill had a hilarious press conference yesterday. After missing the playoffs for the first time in his career, that nigga said, "I'm out, bro." He did the Russell Westbrook. Y'all niggas tripping. When he just went on, he was thanking fans, thanking Miami, for being there. He said, "I'm gonna make this decision for my family." I look at this two things. One, I think it's probably something to do with money. But also, I think this nigga just kind of knows where the future of the Dolphins is, and he wants to get out of that. And combine that with the fact of missing the playoffs for the first time and just being a usual wide receiver diva. That's what I got from that. And then today, the putting his face on Antonio Brown when he chucked the deuce and left, MetLife Stadium when he was with the Buccaneers. I don't know if they actually moved the nigga. I think he just signed an extension like a year ago.
He just signed this year. This year got an extension this year, yeah.
So I don't know if the Dolphins actually get rid of him, but I found that pretty interesting for him to go that extreme when they weren't going to win that game. They didn't even play to it. Any thoughts on Tyreek Hill?
Well, they asked him before. Well, the one thing with me is like I watched like the full presser, and they kind of asked him just like you could tell that the biggest thing for him is there's no certainty around Tua's health, because he had kind of made a statement where he's just like like no disrespect to Snoop Huntley, but it's hard when you lose QB1, in this league. Like most teams that lose QB1, like you can't really survive from that. So there was that, and then the whole thing was in the middle of the game, he kind of got pulled out once the Broncos were up big on the Chiefs, and it was a coach's decision, and he didn't really kind of like that, because he was battling with the wrist injury, but he couldn't really like that. He really didn't like that, and he just said like, look, like I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there just like playing to play. Like I got to be playing for something meaningful, so I think the writing's on the wall with him. It's just going to be interesting to see where he goes. I would look at, there's a few teams that could use him.
I wouldn't be shocked he found a way back to Kansas City. That's just the type of shit that they do over there. Anything else with Tyreek before we move on?
Nah, fuck that shit. Stay your ass where you was at last year and a half ago.
Having kids.
Like a year and a half ago, your ass was all on Tua's nuts. Stay where you at, fam. Your ass
didn't he say he was up there with Pat?
He said he was better than Pat.
Oh, yeah. It was ridiculous.
Hey, stay your ass over there. Kansas City wanted you back. You wanted to leave. Your ass got overly emotional and all that shit. Now your ass on the third place team in a much harder division. Nah, stay your ass over there. Continue getting your ass beat up by the police.
One thing.
Damn.
It says South Beat Logic might be in trouble.
Hey man, niggas go through police brutality and then want to leave. Nah, fam, you shouldn't even been there in the first place. They don't fuck with you. That just shows you Miami don't fuck with you, fam.
Keep getting beat up by the police. Oh man. So yeah, I mean we'll
that
see
was
what
wrong.
happens.
I apologize.
No, but I've been looking into it, and basically like with his contract status, his age, it would be something like it's like a day 2 or a day 3 pick, and like only a few teams will be able to take him because his contract kicks in next season. So he it might be something they might have to mend the fence, or they're not gonna get their the full value for him.
Send his ass to Carolina.
Shit.
He'd look great in
the way
go from Miami to North Carolina.
You know where he would look great next to CeeDee Lamb.
What, in Dallas?
Yeah.
They should send his ass to NFL Europe. Get out of my face.
So
Go play for them.
Berlin Browns.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want him in my division. Don't want him in my division. No, thank you. Get him out of here.
So
send his ass to the Saints and Spencer
Right.
Rattler.
Now, why am I in it?
He said, "Why am I?"
What's the LG? That's the real LGBTQ QB down there. Jake Ainer. Why they on Caleb, man? They on.
Hey, Courtney, my
what's his
bad.
name
I
down
totally
there?
forgot. I totally spaced out and forgot that you was a Saints fan.
Why
My bad.
am I?
Not that there's anything
catching-
wrong with that.
Nah.
Anyway, now let's go on to this.
Well, no, hold on. I want to say, Courtney, get your victory lap. Because didn't y'all win one more game to us, or didn't we finish with the same record? So we had all that hype we were talking about and sitting you through.
And we have the pick before you guys in the draft.
Yeah. No, the pick after us. We're 10th, you're 11th, I think.
I thought we were 9.
Oh shit, are y'all 9th?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a small price for salvation. We beat the Packers
Right.
yesterday. Small price for salvation. But let's talk about this MVP race, which we kind of alluded to just a couple minutes ago between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, where Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, is having his best season ever. Like, it's to the point where you can't say anything about this. Josh Allen's having a really, really good season as well. Really, the turnovers are not where they were last year. I don't think everybody thought the Bills were going to take a big step back this year. And as big of a Josh Allen fan as I am, I thought the same thing. I'm very surprised by the way they played. And it was something where I feel like it's kind of funny to say Lamar is having a quiet season because he's not. But I didn't know how much better his numbers were than Josh Allen till like a month ago. And I'm like, man, it's not close. And I said in order for him to have an actual chance to actually win it, to get past the narrative stuff, will be to come back and win the AFC North, which they did do. They're only a seed behind Buffalo, and they also beat the brakes off Buffalo. I think a lot of people forget that too. I think it was like week 3. It was a blowout in Baltimore on Sunday Night Football, and I feel that Lamar Jackson should be the MVP. I mean, he's got the record between the two isn't that much different. And if you're going to use the record, you should use the head-to-head for when they played this year. It's, and I also feel like it's funny. We look at how the media does stuff. They didn't care about total TDs when Lamar always had a total TDs. Now when we're doing Josh Allen's total TDs to make it feel like a closer argument than it really is. But I also feel like something that we got to accept, which I told my brother, is MVP in both the NFL and the NBA are narrative-driven. We all know that Joel Embiid should not be MVP 2 years ago. That was Nikola Jokic award. Like people just didn't want him winning 3 in a row. But that was his award. And I feel like if this goes to Josh Allen, I'm pretty sure it will be. I would actually be kind of stunned if they didn't give it to but Josh Allen. From just the way the media is talking about him, it's short time now, which is how MVPs are. You can look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan should have way more than 5 MVPs. LeBron James should have way more than 4 MVPs. But we get fatigued with greatness. Giannis won a couple. We don't need you to be getting any more. And then just to do the same thing with Jokic. This year it's probably Shea has a legit chance to get in the NBA, maybe even Luka if he can get back healthy. But it's like they anoint people. And it's just Josh Allen's time to be anointed. Me and Bang were talking about the Here Nigga Damn Awards. Josh Allen's going to get the Here Nigga Damn MVP. That's exactly what he's going to get. But Lamar is having an incredible season, and I don't really even feel like it should be a conversation, but it's going to be that, and especially with the way the playoffs go through, even though voting takes place before the playoffs, that's going to be something that's going to factor into it. If the Ravens find their way to the Super Bowl, let's just say the Bills get knocked off by the Broncos, and he still wins MVP, it's going to be an even louder thing. Tosin, what's your opinion on this? Obviously, pro Lamar, but just all the discourse surrounding this? What has that been like for you?
In a weird way, it's so funny to hear this shit. Like, I remember last year when we signed Derrick Henry, and everybody's like, "Oh, Derrick Henry's washed, whatever," and I was just like, "No, he's really not." And the fact that Lamar's done this with Gus Edwards, he's done this with a hurt J.K. Dobbins, and done this with, with Mark Ingram when he was like hurt, and it's like, yeah, he's finally got a great running back, but it's like, yo, we finally got pieces around him for once. He won MVP Willie Snead as wide receiver. That's insane. Like, he won a unanimous MVP with Willie Snead. And it's like he's progressively gotten even better each year. And I think that this year he's just taken everything to another level. I mean, if you really want to see his highlight, the thing for me that really showed like what Lamar is when he played against Trey Hendrickson, when he stiff-armed. Remember that in Cincy when we beat them, and he like stiff-armed Trey Hendrickson and still found Isaiah Likely in the end zone. So it's like, this guy is showing you week in and week out, like he's just that much better than everybody else in this position. But I get it. It's boring that like he's doing this week in and week out and hasn't done the Super Bowl. So I understand everyone's fatigued with him. But it's also one of these things where it's like, this is the first year ever in the Ravens history we ever had a Pro Bowl wide receiver, by the way. So just goes to show you that like he's been doing this for a while. But I get it. Josh, no one really expected the Bills to be where they're at this year, losing Stephon Diggs. And I get it. Josh has been great. He hasn't been turning the ball over like we usually see him do. So I won't be shocked if they give it to him, but I just don't like the narrative around Lamar. Like, just like they did the whole like total stat for the year. I'm like, whenever we ever seen anybody in NFL do somebody's like total stats for the whole entire like year, like a calendar year, like, that's super weird, but that's the narrative for you. It is what it is.
Mikey, man, what you think about how narratives get placed in MVP conversation? I know you said just earlier about the NFL and the NBA being the only leagues that do that. And even more thing that's kind of knowing about NFL MVP, it's only for quarterbacks. It's not even
right,
because if we're doing everything, Saquon should be in this conversation as well. Just what's your thoughts on just the race that we've had this year?
I mean, like I said, it's crazy because Lamar is having a better statistical year this year. This is his best year of his overall career, better than the years that he's won MVP, and he won't win it. I just think it is kind of somewhat of a voter fatigue. And it comes down to it's the very same situation with Jokic and Embiid. And it's unfortunate. I think Josh Allen, and this is not to take anything away from Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen has played amazing. I think his supporting cast, wide receiver wise, I think a lot of people expected them to take a step back offensively due to, losing Stephon Diggs and, going with a rookie Keon Coleman, having faith in, in Shakur, who was like a 3rd round pick. Like, they were banking on a lot. It was supposed to be a quote unquote down year for them, but it's just unfortunate. I really don't feel one way towards it. I just think Lamar is hooping. And he's deserving of it. I think, like I said, Joe Burrow's deserving of it. I think Saquon Barkley's deserving of it. It'd be interesting. I don't know if we've ever had co-MVPs.
It was 2003. It was Steve McNair and Peyton Manning.
And Peyton Manning, right? I don't know if the NFL has an appetite to do that in today's day and age, but this would certainly be a year, I guess, that you can kind of go for that.
Yeah, there was also Brett Favre and Barry Sanders in '97.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And I think it's just going to come down to some of those voters that that might not necessarily want to see Lamar hoist another one up.
I want to see a nigger win another one. That's Courtney, that's how they voting.
I just wasn't expecting that. That was really
Bang, man, what's your thoughts on this MVP race? That's how the niggas at Cracker Barrel be talking.
Because you just took the words out of my mouth. That's the only reason why I think Josh Allen's gonna win this shit.
I thought we were Mississippi for a second.
Hey, look, man. To me, man, that's the only reason why Josh Allen gonna win this shit. It's his nigga damn also added to the fact that we can't have this brother of color winning all of these joints. Like, we got to give him something. Lamar Jackson is having one of the greatest seasons, one of the greatest quarterback seasons in NFL history. The stats prove that. no matter how good of a season Josh Allen is having, the season that Lamar Jackson is having is unprecedented. And we're not going to give that the MVP award? That tells me everything that I need to know. It's a little bit of fatigue. It's a little bit of hit nigga damn, man. God damn, Josh Allen got to win something. And then there's also, I'm sorry, it's also on that shit too. Right? And I'm not going to specifically say which one that I believe is like which person talking head you see on TV fits one of those bills. But I will pick on Dan Orlovsky on this one. He's in the here nigga damn category. Like he's like, yo, we gotta give Josh Allen something. And that's what I don't like about a lot of these postseason, well, these just seasonal awards. Because a lot of it is, yeah, this person is deserving, but a lot of it is also like, man, he got a couple already. We got to give him something. Like Karl Malone, here nigga damn. Charles Barkley, kind of here nigga damn. Who else is one? Steve Nash, here nigga damn. Like there's a lot of here nigga dams in the history of getting awards. So when you look at Lamar Jackson and the season that Lamar Jackson has had, and you really having a conversation about Josh Allen this year, man, here nigga damn.
The here nigga damn was we gotta do a whole episode on summer sessions about that. And we will not be talking about that Fox Sports lawsuit on here. I'm saving that for the Patreon. I've got thoughts that cannot be said outside
as a head of content. I am going to stay clear away from that conversation. I got thoughts. It just won't go on no platform.
Oh no! Oh yeah, I should have known. I can't put on the chat like yeah. Some stuff is gonna be good. Nigga,
I mean, I'm gonna lightly discuss it, but I got some thoughts.
That's above my pay. That's above my pay grade.
It ain't above mine, unfortunately. Right there.
One last topic before we get Bang and Mikey get out of here, man. I want to talk about we talked about in the logo about things we were wrong about. And by the way, Ryan Post will be meeting the media at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I should be there. It's kind of early, but I might be there tomorrow. See here, this nigga talk for 20 minutes and say the same thing. But I want to go over some things that I was also wrong about when it comes to the playoffs. These are I wrote down my actual playoff picks on September 5th when we gave them to see how accurate I would be months later. These are two I had to win the NFC divisions. I had NFC North champion Detroit Lions. Got that right. Had the San Francisco 49ers win the West. Was wrong about that.
Got that. No, I got that right.
I had the Atlanta Falcons winning the NFC South. Was wrong about that.
Got that wrong.
I had the Eagles winning the NFC East. I was right about that. Here are my three wildcard teams. The Green Bay Packers. I got that. Chicago Bears. Absolutely not. And the Dallas Cowboys. Absolutely not. That did not happen. In the AFC, I had the Bengals winning the North. That did not happen. I had the Chiefs winning the West. That did happen. I had the Texans winning the South. That happened. And I had the New York Jets winning the AFC East. How did that go? And then for the wild card winners, I had the Ravens, the Dolphins, and the Browns. Only one of them niggas are in the playoffs right now, and they are division winners.
MVP my prediction. Super Bowl. Oh my God.
Yeah, your Super Bowl was wild. My MVP prediction was Joe Burrow. And if they'd have made the playoffs, I believe I would have been right.
Man.
Yeah.
I would believe I would have been right. Now, my Super Bowl 59 prediction, Kansas City Chiefs versus Detroit Lions. I still have a chance to be right about that. And outside of all my Bears takes that were wrong, and if you want to see how wrong they were, go back and watch. I'm not going to watch Bears.
Shit. No.
Delete that shit.
I would like a formal apology from everyone in here except for you, Tosin, about Bo Chapman Knicks. I said it before the fucking season started. I said it. And y'all called me a madman.
We did say that.
A madman.
You right.
That's all.
You was wrong about Tennessee Titans, though.
Yeah, you was. Yeah, you was.
Yeah. Let's actually talk about that real quick, okay? As a fantasy football enthusiast, devastated that after I dropped fucking Tyjae Spears for my team, they remember how to use the man. He started going
crazy
games of the season. What? He's a good running back.
I have one thing to say.
That to me.
Courtney, I have one thing to say. That quarterback puts mayonnaise in his coffee. Should never believe that.
You know what?
Will
That's
Levis is
on
ass.
me.
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
I
We
do
was
love
Will
that
Levis is
commercial, though, I
garbage.
gotta be honest. That motivations.
Now here's another one. You didn't say it was gonna be good, but you said you had faith in them. You still got faith in Anthony Richardson?
They were supposed to be a sleepy,
Well, I mean-
sneaky
Well,
team.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson, another AFC South person. Do you still have faith in him?
Yes,
You do have faith still in Anthony
I
Richardson.
do. I'm not giving up on that Black King.
Okay, well
He
he
fucking
gonna be
sucks.
he gonna be
fucking sucks.
he gonna be competing with another Black King, Justin Fields, for that position in a couple months.
I still believe in Anthony Richardson. I can fix him. I can fix him.
I can. Mikey, is there anything you were wrong about and outside of the Bears that you can remember?
I didn't really go back and look at it. I definitely had the Bears in the playoffs. I'm wrong with that. I had the Dolphins as well. Just for all of us next year when we do this, this was the 30th straight season in the NFL where 5 new teams made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So for the last 30 years, 5 different teams have made the playoffs. So next year we're gonna look at this list and we're gonna have to come up with 5 different teams.
Yeah.
But I definitely did say that this would kind of be the end. This year was the last year of the San Francisco Niners kind of powerhouse as we know it, and I was right on that, and I think there's going to be a lot of changes, happening out that way this offseason.
Ben, we already went over with you. Ben, what was your Super Bowl? What's your Super Bowl pick?
We ain't gotta talk about that.
No, we gotta talk about that. What was your Super Bowl pick? I remember being wild when you said it.
Bengals versus Bears, and I had the Bengals winning the Super Bowl.
He had the whisper.
Bang was really drinking that Bears Kool-Aid.
I had Joe Burrow. I had Joe Burrow as MVP. Caleb Williams as Offensive Rookie of the Year, and Jared Verse as my Defensive Rookie of the Year. So, hey, look,
you might get one right.
You might get one. You might get Jared Verse.
Yeah,
hey, we got
that one right.
We got some breaking news. The Colts fired their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So
Gus Bradley.
So Eberflus coming back.
Scapegoat.
He said Eberflus coming back.
Chris Ballard. You want to know about white privilege? Chris Ballard is white privilege.
That's another person that got footage, that got tapes of somebody doing
and
something.
That nigga don't wash his hands in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Discussion.
That was not supposed to be for the show.
I don't care. What they gonna do? Sue me, nigga. I don't work for them niggas. But Toast, was anything you were wrong about? I know you were on our pre-show.
I can't remember. All I know is that I hate everybody in the AFC North and my team won, so I'm right about that. It's the only thing that I know is that we won the AFC North. But yeah, that's really it, man. I can't remember anything I said back then, man. I just know that we won the AFC North and we better win the Super Bowl because the Ravens are literally 5 minutes away from my parents' house. So just know that.
Are you making a trip to Baltimore to check the game out?
I'll kiss my ass, Hood.
I'll go to the parade. I'll go to the parade when we win the Super Bowl, but I ain't sitting in the M&T Bank in the cold. I'm from Africa. We do not do that. We do not sit in the cold. No way.
Oh man. Mikey Bang, anything you want to say before we get you up out of here before we talk college football?
I just want to say, look, players fuck up. All right. And the Bengals, the Bears, they didn't get to where I thought they were going to get, but Jamar Chase got a triple crown.
Beast.
Joe Burrow could have been an MVP and all of that shit. Like all of that. Like don't come down on me like that. Bears beat the Packers. I did say that the Bears was going to beat the Packers the last game of the season too.
You
I
did.
got some two predictions. The Titans, worst team in the NFL, and the Bears was going to beat the Packers at the end of the season. No matter what I said, what was going to be the outcome, they won.
Definitely said that. Mike, any final words before we get you up out of here?
Nah, man, about to spend some time with my girl, and I'm actually gonna watch Shogun for the first time. I haven't actually watched it.
That's what I meant to watch.
Tap in.
Yeah, y'all gonna have a great time. That's a great show.
She looked at me and she said, "No football tonight." Nah, I could have lied. I had a 5-second grace period to lie, but I'm like, nah, baby.
So you got a WWE Raw parlay, nigga.
Man, if she would have walked in on the room watching me watch South Florida versus Wichita State basketball, she would have called the hotline.
This is a sick man. This is a sick Negro.
All right, man. Bang, Mike, you gonna holler at you on Friday.
All right, man, y'all be safe.
We're gonna take a quick 1 minute break. We're gonna get into some college football real quick, and then we're gonna talk some NBA with Pavy, man. We'll be right back.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not.
We are back. Mike's still here. What's going on, brother? Anyway, we back, man. Me, Courtney Tosin, man. We're gonna talk about some college football, man. We just got done watching a weekend of games. The Final Four has been set. It will be Penn State and Notre Dame playing in the Orange Bowl. That'll be Thursday night, and then on Friday we got the Cotton Bowl between Texas and Ohio State. Those two teams will face in the national championship game, which will be January 20th. Dr. King Day and also America Going to Hell Day. Trump inauguration. Same day. So a lot of things going on the 20th. Courtney, I really want to get your opinion on this. You know, after the opening week of the college football playoffs, had a lot of people talking about, oh man, we don't need this. Why we don't need this many teams in the playoffs? Some of this team shouldn't have made it. What was your thoughts on the first opening round of 12-team playoffs? Did you think it was too much, or you just think it's going to take a little longer for people to get adjusted to?
Yeah, I really don't know why anybody is complaining. It's been largely pretty entertaining. There were a couple of blowouts, particularly in Penn State's portion of the bracket. They kind of been rolling through everybody that they've played so far. Boise State, SMU, they got diced up. But I don't see how you could look at this as a bad thing. More opportunities for teams it creates more intrigue, in my opinion. I think it's good content. And yeah, my team got bounced, but that was the best game of the fucking playoff. And there were a lot of people saying that ASU had no business being anywhere near there, and it still has been the most entertaining game. I will say I really could not give two flies fucking smashed about Notre Dame versus Penn State. That sounds boring as hell, but I'm gonna watch it because that's just who I am. But no, I think the 12-team playoff is good. I think people, and just if you really sit and think about it, if we didn't have, like, there were a couple of teams in this playoff, right, that lost, 2 games. Imagine if it was a 4-team playoff, a 4-team playoff, so what kind of matchups that we would be dealing with. All that to say, this shit's lit. College football's lit. ASU's going to be back next year. Bama, fuck. Fuck.
I've never been opposed to more playoff games in any sport.
Yeah, I don't see why anybody's complaining. I do have one complaint. It's a minor complaint. And I understand nobody wants to go head-to-head with the NFL. But college football has shown itself and proven itself in their ability to be able to sustain themselves on Saturdays. Why the fuck are these games on Thursday and Friday? Or was it? But yeah, Thursday and Friday. That's nasty work. College football is sacred on Saturdays. I hate it. I hate it.
I get what you're saying, but also Big Raj.
I know nobody wants to go head-to-head with the NFL. I know the NBA is paying for it right now. But
tell them to pack up your people. Goodell Stanfield. He's like, not happening. But I've never been opposed to extra playoff games. Like I hate when the NBA playoffs start, niggas be like, oh, we'd go back to the best of 5. Like, no, nigga, like I like 7-game series. And I believe that if you made the playoffs, you deserve 2 home games, especially if you went through the dreaded play-in tournament. By the way, I have no problem with the play-in tournament either. I don't understand why people act like there's not blowouts in the first round of every playoffs, and especially in college football. I know I've only been a college football fan for real for like 3 years. But college football is the land of blowouts. So I didn't understand that. I think that maybe the buys could be worked out. Maybe some of the seeding can be worked out. But I have no problem with the 12 teams. I mean, if we're cutting off at 4 or 6, Ohio State wouldn't be it right now. And they look far and beyond the best team in the country right now.
Sick to my fucking stomach, by the way.
Oh, my brother's having an amazing time. This nigga's
I mean, again, it makes me think like the smartest and the best thing that Ohio State did all season was lose to Michigan, because they would not be in this position if they did not lose to Michigan. And that's facts. Best thing they could have done. Maybe bad for Ryan Day's reputation amongst Ohio State fans. Fuck that guy.
I think they'll be fine if they hoist the national championship.
Which because they're going to beat Texas. Texas is not good. Texas is not good. That put a period at the end of that fucking sentence. It is not good. They were gifted that fucking game. ASU should be playing Ohio State, but you know.
How'd you feel about the end of that game? How'd you feel about? Yeah, I was hurt for y'all. I was watching it like the way y'all scored first in overtime. By the way, I despise college football overtime rules. I hate it with a fiery passion because I have no problem with everybody getting the ball, but my nigga, why you start at the 20? Like I never liked that. I never liked that terrible rule, start at the 20-yard line. And I'm not even a big fan of the NFL overtime rules. Play defense, my nigga. Like I'm old school. Play defense. The Bills didn't get an opportunity. They start crying, and the NFL changed the rule. But play defense. But I thought that once y'all scored, I was like, oh, this is gonna be that 4th down. When they showed Jake Plum on the sideline, I was like, I'm a Bears fan. Something bad is about to happen. Whenever they show legends, something bad is about to happen.
Did you see that dude? He actually, it's funny because he literally just said that he was on like 800 milligrams of mushrooms at that game. Literally, he came out and tweeted it. So I think he said not psilocybin, it was something else, but cordyceps is what the fuck he said he was off of.
That's sick. That's sick. That's so sick.
So what you think about 12-team playoff?
I think it's great because you get to notice players that you never really get to watch all the time. Like I never really knew how good Cam was from ASU. Like, and now I'm looking, I'm like, that's how white man run a football. Bring him to Baltimore. I want to see him. I want to see him and Derrick Henry together. That's what I want to see. But now it gives more eyes. Like even Jeremiah, like the wide receiver from Ohio State, it's like we all know he's good, but he really showed out. And you get to see like how really talented a lot of these kids really are. So it gives a lot more eyes for people, and it's just more sports, man. Like, who hates more sports? Like, don't be a weirdo. We need more sports, especially like right now. Like, what we gonna do on a Monday with no sports? Just watch ourselves. So, yeah, it's nice. It's really nice to have more sports on TV.
Yeah, exactly. More sports, the better. So I've never been opposed to that, man. Nigga. But I also feel like people just like arguing. And that's just really what at the end of the day would just come down to, man. Let's talk about these actual games that we got playing on this week. Orange Bowl, Penn State, Notre Dame. A lot of people in the Chicago area are jazzed up about that because there's a lot of Notre Dame fans out here. That's one thing about Chicago. It's a big football market, but we don't really have a college team. So people either root for Notre Dame or like Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of Notre Dame fans. Notre Dame got a nice dub last week. Then we playing Penn State. Penn State to me is a team that I won't call them a sleeper. Obviously, not a sleeper if you make the top 4. But I really like their defense. Alla's been playing well, and there's somebody that I feel like can be a threat to a Texas or even Ohio State. My brother said, "There's any team I'm worried about is Penn State." Courtney, what you think about this matchup? Between Notre, I know you say you don't care too much about it,
Jesus. But I'm fucking already plotting the map I'm about to take by halftime. It's just like, I mean, congratulations to both teams. Fantastic seasons, blah blah fucking blah. I could not give two flies fucking smash about this game. I mean, cool. I guess that we're gonna get a black head coach in a national championship game. That'll be tight. Great for the culture. But
I didn't know he was black till a couple days ago. I'm not gonna lie.
Who? James Franklin?
Yeah, and this is hilarious. It's hilarious. Come from Mr. Lightbright over here, but I did not know he was black. But shout out to that nigga. I don't know.
But yeah, no, I mean, I still think, honestly, I think Notre Dame is going to win this game. I think their defense is better. And like, don't get me wrong, Georgia did not play well in that game at all. But I think that will be the difference maker, in my opinion. I know Penn State has the dual running back situation, so might be a little difficult to stop the run. But I'm taking Notre Dame in this game.
I'm taking Penn State just because I don't want Notre Dame fans to be happy. It's really what it comes down to.
What did they do to you?
Nothing really. You gotta understand. I'm a contrarian sometimes. When I know too many people are rooting for a certain, a lot of times. Okay. When I know a lot of people are rooting for somebody, I want them to lose now, and I know a lot of Notre Dame fans, so I want them to lose. But go ahead, Tosin.
First and foremost, hold on. Nigerian people are annoying. I just found out James Franklin's wife is half Nigerian. Like, yo, we just gotta just chill out. Like, we're making too many hybrids, man. Like, this shit is weird at this point. Like, I found out there's a Nigerian who's half Nigerian and half from Tajikistan. I'm like, yo, why? How are y'all even there? Like, why does that even make any sense? But that's neither here nor there. But first of all, I just want Notre Dame to win just because their coach is so shameless with the vision that he puts in his hair. And I'm just like, you know what? I like a shameless man like that. So I hope he wins the whole entire thing just because he just puts hair dye in his shit. And he loves Kyle Hamilton. So, that's my shamelessness right there. But I do think that Ohio State, I do think that Penn State they might come up a little bit short against Notre Dame. Like you're saying about their defense. The offense, though, when I was watching them against Georgia, I was like, yo, like, it doesn't look fun. It looks like it was like a struggle bus, but listen, it's all matchups, right? So we'll see how they match up against each other. But I just think Notre Dame just has like a little bit of, just a little bit more than they do.
Yeah, Marcus Freeman, man, you too young for that Beijing in your head, my brother. What's going on? Like, that's like Carlos Boozer levels of Beijing. Like, you gotta stop, bro. Like,
yo, he's 38 years old. He's literally 4 years older than me. And he's like, yo, why you got that much? And his beard, too. It's like, yo, it's in your hair, it's in your beard. Like
that, I will not tolerate this slander. That is a fine-ass man. I will not. This is crazy.
Listen, he's a handsome dude. He's a handsome dude, but he's just wearing too much.
Don't put so much in there. I feel like that joint was leaking when he was on ESPN like a couple weeks ago. Like, relax, brother. Like, chill out. But let's get to the Cotton Bowl. Texas, they got lucky towards the end of that game. With the last interception got them in there. Ohio State has looked like they have been unstoppable in these two playoff games. I didn't have them. I had Oregon winning because I didn't think they were going to beat Oregon, and especially not in the way that they did it. That game was over in the first quarter. Will Howard, I ain't never ever seen you act like this before. He's been hooping these last two games. They just been on fire. Ryan Day is getting his redemption. I asked my brother like this. I know you want them to win, but this means Ryan Day is going to come back. Like, you're sacrificing here something here, but if they're able to get the natty, I don't think Ohio State fans are going to care. I think Ohio State's going to win this. The offense just looks unstoppable, and I just really was not impressed with Texas last week against Arizona State. Courtney, what you think about this game?
I think Ohio State's going to beat the dog shit out of Texas, and I think Texas is finally going to get rightfully exposed. They hadn't beat a single ranked opponent all season. Quinn Ewers is ass. Get ready to learn Miami Hurricanes, buddy. They do need a quarterback. We'll talk about that next time. But yeah, I think they're going to get dog walked. And Ohio State is going to be winning the national championship this year. Boy, that actually makes me want to throw up. Like, I just got that saliva build up in my mouth right now. Oh, that's awful to say out loud. It should have been me.
It should have been me.
Not him.
That's how I felt when TMZ broke the Zendaya's marrying Spider-Man. I was like, it should have been me. That's how I felt this morning. But and my brother's gonna be ridiculously annoying if Ohio State wins. Like, he's gonna be over the top with it. I want them to fail just so he can when this thing, like, when the Bears lose is one thing. When Ohio State loses, you don't want to be within a football field of this nigga. It's anger I've never seen before. And so I kind of want them to fail just because I have that contrarian in me. But Tosin, what you think about this matchup with Texas and Ohio State?
Everything Courtney said, man. Quentin Ewers is not that good. He's not that good. And Geno Smith's cousin, that boy is nasty. Okay. That boy, I was watching him against Oregon. I was like, nigga, like, how old are you? Like, why are you doing this? So it's a really nasty team. And again, like I was saying with Nigerian hybrids, Emeka's another Nigerian hybrid. I'm like, yo, why are we everywhere? Like, why? Like, why can't Nigerian men just stay in Nigeria and stop making hybrids? But they just can't. They decide like we're gonna go everywhere and make this hybrid kid. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting because I do think Ohio State's gonna win. For some reason though, like this reminds me of like years back. I wanted Troy Smith to be that guy, and I've kind of liked Ohio State since then, but we'll see. We'll see what they're gonna do.
Definitely, man. It should be entertaining. Looking forward to those games. Just for a full week of football in general. Who you said running back? Okay. I was like, what's that? What they going on? I thought that nigga like Jaden Daniels, which we just put in the chat, Courtney. But
that's Jordan. That is Jordan Tyson. Okay,
he look like Jaden Daniels from far.
Wide receiver, elite wide receiver for ASU, and he is so back, baby.
How much money did they pay him to come back? Is the question.
Hey, listen, as long as the Sun Angel Collective is open for business, they can take all my fucking money. Let's just run it. Let's run it back next year. I want to be in the playoffs again.
Hey, Courtney, he's definitely biracial, isn't he?
Who, Jordan Tyson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw from the way he spelled his. I saw the way he spelled Jordan. I was like, oh, I know what you are.
Hey, he spelled that joint with a Y. Yeah, with a Y. Yeah, he spelled with a Y. And you're like that.
I would be shocked if his mother weren't white.
100%. 100%. You know what's funny? I thought Caleb Williams was mixed for a long time, and like till the Bears got him. Oh, damn, he got two black parents. What's up?
Yeah, his mom is definitely white. I just Googled it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, his dad don't play about her at all. I know that for sure.
Bro, I thought Jason Tatum was for a minute too.
Jason.
And then I saw younger pictures of his mom. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jason's black. His son just unfortunately didn't get any melanin at all. Deuce ain't getting nothing. That's a black kid too. That's the craziest part. Deuce is black.
100%. Deuce is one. Hey, I can't talk, nigga. They used to give me the. This is gonna be hilarious. And when I was in grammar school, they used to give me the like syllabus in Spanish. I was like, my nigga, I don't know a lick of Spanish, bro. Like, I am African American. He said, Dr. Umar, what's going on today?
They thought you were what's it called? They thought you were one of the Latin Kings.
Yeah, nigga, I had to bring my parents up there for like parent teacher conference. No, I have two black parents. I'm not Latino. Like, and you know, shout out to the homies, but I don't know what's on this paper. So they happened multiple years, like 3 years in a row. I was like, I don't know what y'all handed me this for, but I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's been watching. We got over 1,000 people on the live stream right now. I did the numbers for the year. We did 685,227 views, listens for 2024. Over 500,000 people have consumed our content in 2024, so we appreciate y'all. Courtney Tosin. Well, Tosin, are you staying with us for the NBA topic? I don't know.
Might as well. Might as well just, you know, I got something to say about the Warriors. They're so bad.
So Scott said me no black.
That's
all right, Alex. But Courtney, any words before we get you about it?
No, I ain't got nothing. I will be traveling this weekend, so I will not be here on Friday, but I will be back on Monday. And we're going to talk about these college football games. I'm going to be prepared to unload the clip if Penn State gets fucking dog walked. Like I think they might, honestly, and same with Texas. So we're gonna revisit this next week.
Is your hangover still on right now? You still?
Yes, I am very much hungover right now.
Welcome to 30. Welcome to 30. What did Denzel say?
You gotta put my fucking age out there.
Hey, you said it when your birthday was on. I didn't put your age out there. You said it on the show. What did Denzel say on the Titans? Not funny anymore, is it? No, it's not funny anymore. Not even a little bit.
No, it is 6:35 p.m. We are literally almost in the next day. Yeah. And I'm still hurting. So stay away from the rumplings, kids.
that them joints are not fun when you hit your 30s. But Courtney, we will holler at you next Monday.
Sounds good, man. Peace, y'all.
All right, we're gonna wait for Pat Vito to come up on here. We're gonna talk a little bit of NBA basketball. Unfortunately, I had to start watching this week, as you know, towards the end of the season, where it's football's winding down. For the first time on Christmas, I didn't watch a lick of basketball. When everybody left my house, I started watching movies, and then I went to sleep. And Steph and LeBron going at it. How many times have I seen them go at it? This is not new. Yeah. Nothing about this new. You think I'm gonna stay up and watch Nuggets Thunder? I think not. It's not gonna happen.
I'll say this much. What I've seen in the NBA this year, Wemby's a freaking freak of nature. Yeah. That does not make, that's a creature. That don't make no sense. You shouldn't be getting that many dunks and threes at the same time. Like that's not normal. That shit is not normal.
Is not a normal human being, man. And right now we are bringing Pat Vito in for our first edition of Weekend in the Association for 2025. Can't believe this is actually 2025. We are living in the years that you would simulate on NBA 2K and on Madden. Pat Vito, how you feeling?
I'm good, bro. I can't complain, man. How you?
Doing pretty good. Took my phone off D&D for the first time in 2 weeks today.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? I put on big boy pants today.
Respect.
Just lay around in sweats like the last 2 weeks. And we're getting to work. I actually watched NBA basketball this weekend. We're getting slowly back.
We almost there.
We almost there. We're a month from now. Month and a half of me talking like I've been watching the whole season, which I like to do. But let's just get into the first topic I got on here. I want to talk about the Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Thunder, they've picked off right where they left off last year. Last year, they were number one seed. A lot of people say Shai should have been MVP last year. Obviously, that went to Nikola Jokic, but right now they are number one in the West again. 30-5 on a 15-game winning streak. They just beat the Boston Celtics, the world champions, last night, and they have a big game on ESPN on Wednesday against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who are number one in the NBA at 31-4. Pat, man, we know how you talked about them, and they're doing this without Alex Caruso, doing this without Chet Holmgren, dealing with a lot of injuries. Is this finally OKC's time?
They're probably the team that I probably trust the most when I look at the Western Conference. I think that the only real weakness you could say that they quote unquote have is their age. But at the same time, for the Thunder, this is probably the time to do it, because you're gonna have to start paying some of these guys. And with the second apron, obviously you're in Oklahoma City. You saw what happened with the James Harden thing way back when. Like, Chet's gonna get a max, Jalen Wynn's gonna get a max, Shai's gonna get the super max. So yeah, I mean, I think that they have a very well balanced team. I thought really the only thing that they were missing was last year was one more big, because in that Dallas series, Chet just got assaulted on the glass by Lively and Gafford, and you see what Hartenstein is bringing to this team. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Last year, I was not on the Shai as a superstar train. I wasn't there yet. This year, I am fully there. He plays on both ends of the court. He been having people on skates all season. Now, maybe I wasn't paying good enough attention, but I don't know when he got this many moves and started putting people on skates the way he been this season. So shout out to Chet. Jalen Wynn's is probably gonna be Shai. Shout out Chet. Jalen Wynn's probably gonna be a all-star this season. So yeah, if I to answer your question, they're the team personally that I trust the most when I look at the Western Conference currently.
Tosin, what you think about the Thunder, man? What stands out to them for you?
First of all, Shai dresses like he's on Blade.
He dresses like the Pied Piper R&B. That's what he dresses like.
He does, just like he's making TP2. But the boy, nice. Like Pappy said, like he is truly a superstar. He's one of them ones, and like it's insane to see. Like he's progressively gotten better each year. Has been in the league, but this year has just been like, yo, I'm here, and y'all gonna notice this. And he's doing it week in, week out, and it's just. I'm shocked. It's like how, this team is I think it's their time. I really do think it's their time. But again, Jokic is still there. But listen, we got to give Shai and his team some flowers, because they're doing it. And he's nice. He's truly like he's nice as hell.
And with Shea, if I could just add one thing, and with Shea, I think if he had one weakness in his game, it was probably his 3-point shot. But this year, he's up in the threes, and I think he's making about 35% of them, which is adding a whole different element to his game. Because obviously his mid range was great, but if he gonna have that and also have the three ball, then there's really no weaknesses in his game, and I think that's also why he's having the season that he's been having so far.
I think it's his MVP to lose. We said we said beginning of the season Luka, but Luka been hurt too much this year. And the Mavericks are a good team, but I'm starting to think the Mavericks just ain't a regular season team. Like that's what I'm starting to think, that their team, if they get top 4, make the playoffs, they got a chance. But what I love about what I'm seeing for OKC is I really feel losing to the Mavericks is going to help them out. We always say you got to lose before you win, especially in the NBA. You can get away with that in the NFL, get away with that in baseball, but in NBA, you really truly have to lose before you win. And I think last year's loss to the Mavericks is going to help them because now they've got the experience under their belt. They know what it takes to win playoff games. They know how to prepare for these things. And I really feel once they get healthy with Chet Holmgren, but especially my man AC, Alex Caruso, is going to be so important for them come playoff time. And Shea's game is going to go to another level as well as what he's been doing right now. I don't even know these niggas coach, but he's coaching really tremendously right now. And I feel like it's just every now and then you see an emergence of a new team where last year was their welcome to the spotlight moment. Now it's like, okay, let's actually take advantage of that and actually get to the NBA Finals. And this is a weak Western Conference to me. Like, yeah, Denver is still around. You still got Jokic. I don't like that team compared to the other teams. The Lakers are top 5 right now, but let's be real. There were Anthony Davis and LeBron James injury for being back in the play-in. And I think Dallas will still be a threat, obviously, when healthy. Guarding Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic for a 7-game series is not for the weak at heart. I like what Houston's doing. I don't look at them as a playoff threat yet. I think this is their year at least to make it to the finals. I don't think they're beating Boston in a 7-game series in the finals, but this is definitely their chance to get there.
They could do it.
You think a healthy Boston Celtics in?
Yeah. Number one, I think that they can, like Boston. They just swing. The same thing we've been saying for the past 3 years. They just swing the ball around and shoot threes. And when they go in, they win games. And when they don't go in, they lose games. But I think the Thunder have the perimeter defenders, especially when you add AC in. You still got Dort. You got Williams. You have Shea, who's competes. And then if you bring Chet back in with Hartenstein, you got people for Horford, and you can run different lineups with Horford or KP. So if they play in the series, I wouldn't be shocked if the Thunder could take that in like 6.
That would be a real competitive series, though. They definitely need home court advantage, and now which they have right now if the playoffs started. But let's go on to my boy Jimbo G Buckets. He's doing what he does every couple of years, and that is I don't like being here. Trade me. I think all this comes down to money. I think that he has legitimate great. I don't think Miami has done enough to surround him with the best talent. And I think Miami has had this problem for a while. And you know how Pat Riley is. He don't like niggas talking to him. He's like, nigga, I was coaching Showtime. I built this franchise. Every championship that has been won in this franchise because of me. I got rid of Dwayne Wade. What you think I'll do to you? Now, they've also come out and said they have no plans of trading Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler says that he doesn't see a way this can be fixed. Pat, what's your opinion on this? Do you think this is a Jimmy issue or a Miami Heat issue?
Pat Riley is definitely at the point where he's probably senile. I mean, if you look at some of the Pat Riley moves over when he gave Whiteside that max, what other bad deals? Oh, when he gave Tyler Johnson that $50 million when Tyler Johnson himself said he couldn't believe what was going on. So he's definitely done some questionable things, but I just think it's a period of look. Over the past 5 years, the Heat have had great success, yo. Granted, they didn't win a championship, but they've been to, conference finals. They've been to the NBA finals twice. And I think it's kind of just at the end of his run. Like Jimmy Butler's 35 years old at this point?
He like 34.
Yeah, he's for real. How many good Jimmy Butler years do you actually think he genuinely has left? I know LeBron is doing what he's doing at 40 years old, but I think Bron and some of the other athletes, KD and Steph, have people fooled about how long your primes can genuinely last. So, I mean, granted, it's playing out in a way that sucks, but I feel Jimmy should want, a long-term contract. This the last big contract that Jimmy gonna get After this, Jimmy not getting no more money. But I think the prospect of trading Jimmy becomes difficult because, like, where, right? Like, okay, you look at the teams that you would think, okay, you say Houston. Houston has the assets Houston would probably be the best destination for Miami to actually get some assets back. They have picks. They also have young players that you could take. But if I'm the Rockets, do I really want to attempt to accelerate my timeline when like do you think Jimmy on the Rockets puts them over the hump this season or even
that's
next
the problem season? I don't know where he fits in.
I don't know where you go. Like, okay, you could go to Brooklyn, but like what we going Brooklyn gonna be the same situation that you had in Miami. That's probably worse. You could go to Golden State. You're gonna have to give up too much to get him. You're gonna have to give up Kuminga and Wiggins and a whole bunch of other people to get him. So I don't really know where Jimmy Butler goes. And this is the thing where Miami could just call his bluff, like sit him there for the rest of the season. He has a player option. Either he opts in, whatever, or he just declines it, and you just get the cap room. But the problem with the Jimmy thing is I don't really know at this point in time where it makes sense for Jimmy to go and where it makes sense for the Heat to trade him.
Tosin, what you think about the Jimmy situation?
Everybody's fucked. The Heat, Jimmy, because like Pat was saying, his contract is heavy. I was literally looking at it like he's making $48 million this year. That's 34.71% of the cap space, and that is insane. Because like, where do you trade him to? Like, I was reading something about like he should go to the Timberwolves, but for what? Like,
right.
how's him and yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like those same trade. It's like him and Ant would literally not get along.
They don't even have no picks. They traded them all for Rudy.
Yeah. So it's just like there's no place for him to go. It's like you better just keep pouring coffee, my boy, because there's nowhere for you to go.
100%. Like, and I don't even think like as bad as Golden State's playing. Him and Draymond in the same locker room.
They can't
fuck
locker room on the court.
First of all, Pavy, before they even get to the court, they jumping somebody, either each other or somebody. They're not gonna make it to the court. Jimmy and Dre, one of them's gonna kill each other because they are just the same person. They have mental issues. So it's just like, even if the Warriors got him, it's not gonna make sense on the court. It's not gonna make sense off the court. So it's just like, Jimmy, you just go enjoy South Beach, bro. Like, you're just gonna work out, enjoy Miami because you're not going anywhere. You're stuck.
Be rich and be in South Beach. Like, that's not so bad, bro. I don't want to see him in Phoenix. I don't know what that does.
How he gonna get to Phoenix?
Yeah, well, somebody said trade him for Bradley Beal.
What, you think I'm about to take that contract?
I agree.
He just got dicks, and you think I'm about to take Bradley Beal contract? No, bro. I would literally rather Jimmy Butler's contract just genuinely runs out before I make that trade. Let your contract run out. Thank you for your services.
And move on. Let's move on to one of the Ball brothers. And no, not Lonzo. Even though it's good to see Lonzo playing again. Good to see Lonzo dunking again. Somebody said that nigga got a knee BL, which I thought was very hilarious. We gotta talk about his brother Gelo, who all of a sudden is becoming rapper of the year. Bro, I have played that song an ungodly amount of times. When it first came out, I thought niggas was trolling. And then I went and saw it's actually a real song. I played it. I'm like, yo, it's kind of good.
You know what it is? I thought about it. It reminds us of the music we grew up on, because obviously we all from like, we're late 80s, 90s kids, right? That's like that 01 to like 06 music, right? Yeah. The first time I heard that song when they'll get me a pair of Dada Speedwells. That's literally what I was looking for.
It's definitely Denali music. 100% Denali music. You're like and Nietzsche Jersey music is what that is. But it's the organic hit. Pat, I saw you tweet that yesterday. If you'd have told niggas 3 years ago, yo, Lil Baby gonna drop an album, it's gonna get overshadowed by Leandro Ball. They were like, what planet are you on? And then Lonzo played a snippet.
He got more snit on the way.
On Montez Buzella's Instagram. Him, Io, and Zoe going crazy. He got more heat on the way. And Lonzo wrote the lyrics. If you look at the credits, Lonzo wrote the bar, and he put today, I only need credit. I don't need no credit for anything or something like that. But fine. Lonzo wrote the bars. But Pat, what you think about the song? It's spreading. The Lions played in their locker room yesterday after they won the NFC North. Dan Campbell broke the huddle. Somebody's like, play that Gelo. I'm like, what'd you think about like this going on for him.
I mean, honestly, well, number one, shout out Gelo. I don't want to say he's found his calling, but like, you know,
He kind of did.
Yeah, I mean, he's you know, the NBA seemed like it probably wasn't gonna work out. He said that he didn't want to go overseas, but I mean, if you're gonna keep making fire records, it don't really matter. And two, I'm just like, as somebody who is a artist, I'm just amazed at the I don't even know what this is even a word. The virality, is that a word? Virality?
I have no idea. I went to Chicago public schools. Don't ask me.
Anyway, I'm just like, I just haven't seen anything this organically viral, bro. I damn near want to say since like Chief Keef.
Yeah, damn near.
like it's no, like, you can't even pay for this. Like you can't write this in a marketing plan.
Yeah.
Like it started off by it being a joke, it being funny. And then midway through the joke being funny, I realized, like, yo, the song is kind of good. It's kind of good. And then like the actual song drops, it gets, I think it had 1 million plays in 24 hours on YouTube. So like, yo, I'm just amazed at just the moment. And, you know, I just think it's really cool and like a dope way to just start off the year.
Definitely, man. Final topic, and we're going to wrap this up. We got to talk about this. Mr. LeBron James is being dissed by one of his friends, Drake Aubrey Graham. By the way, I gotta say, who called it Fighting Irish Freestyle? It's not even out. Is this like when the internet called Squabble Up Broccoli?
No. So apparently, here's what happened. Drake's photographer, I guess, the person who filmed the video, I think like she tweeted, like she posted Fighting Irish Freestyle or something like that. Drake didn't say that, but apparently the like photographer did.
Drake hasn't even acknowledged it.
He hasn't even acknowledged it. And then that's when the whole thing, and they named the Fighting Irish Freestyle.
Yeah, because I saw it on Elliot Wilson's IG like Friday, and I saw on Conductor's YouTube, which quickly got taken down. Did Lucian make a call like, nah, nigga, I'm getting sued. Take that down. I don't know what happened with that, but it's not actually out. It was just a video, and it's not like an actual audio. It's Drake in his big old mansion in front of his fireplace rapping. But obviously he's mad at LeBron. You know, he's mad at LeBron. Might even been some shots in there on DeMar, but he's mad at LeBron. Pav, you are the resident Drake fan here. What do you think about this? Which we know LeBron's not going to respond to this whatsoever. But what'd you think about this?
I mean, shit, I feel him. I'll be mad at Bron too. Like, bro, we supposed to have history. We supposed to go back to wasn't Drake was even on the soundtrack of Bron movie, and what was that? 09? So they've been cool for
yeah. Exactly.
So they've been cool for a minute. Like, first of all, if two of my homies, now granted, if two of my homies is getting into a squabble where they got beef, but like I'm cool with both of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to stay out of it. Even if I like enjoy what's going on, I'm still supposed to stay out of it and be like, you know what, I'm neutral. That ain't really what Bron did. So I can understand why Drake would have some animosity towards Bron. I thought we pray we never have to tarnish your legacy line was very sassy. It was funny.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was funny. I didn't like that. It was funny. It was funny, but I did think that it was very sassy. But that's Drake. But I'm more so just, even when I heard, just real quick, even when I heard it, I'm just happy that this is what I wanted from Drake post battle. You just can't go up there and go back to singing and making songs and acting like this shit didn't happen. Nah, you must go in there and say something, explain yourself. Like, I even like when he was talking about the weekend thing, when they like shot at his crib, he was talking about that. Or even like the last 30 seconds when he went to like the religion bars. But all in all, I understand why he would feel a way about LeBron seeming like he's siding with Kendrick Lamar, especially if we've been cool for like the last decade.
I mean, there's a couple things with it for me. One, I get the DeMar thing. I get DeMar way. I don't get the LeBron thing. Like, I don't have a problem with him.
Yes, you do, G.
I don't get it. Like, LeBron's been cool, bro. LeBron's been cool with Kendrick just as long.
But G, if I guess why I say, if you got two mans that's in a squabble, they got beef, right, but you cool with both of them.
Let's say I probably wouldn't go to the concert, but I also heard the rumor that Savannah wanted to go to the concert, and she was like, "You coming with me?" So what you gonna do then, nigga? But also but LeBron still dances to the song. I saw a video like a week ago when I think they playing the Warriors, and nigga was dancing not like us. But this is my thing. Where I get the DeMar thing, The LeBron, I think Drake, and I don't know Drake. I could be wrong. I just want to preface it. I don't know these niggas. From what I get from this, is I think Drake thinks he's cooler with niggas than they really are. Because it's a pattern that we see with a lot of people. I don't know. Maybe Drake didn't have a lot of friends growing up. I have no idea. But it feels like he's learning the difference between industry friends and actual friends. DeMar, I get. Nigga, when you were depressed, you came to my house. How dare you?
Ship your ass and San Antonio.
How dare you?
My career, and you want to be in a fucking video?
You were crying in a Jack in the Box parking lot, and they came to my house. How dare you? And I get that. The LeBron thing, I have no problem when people's like, let it go. I hope he shoots at Kendrick forever. That's just how rappers are. Jay didn't get over Nas. I hate people talking on the Jay acoustic Blueprint album. It's not like you crying on people talking. Blueprint 2 is like a year and a half. So I don't have a problem with him still addressing it. I just don't want him talking about niggas who can't rap. Like that's why I didn't agree with the Snoop thing you were saying. Snoop's a rapper. Like, Snoop's a rapper,
is Snoop
bro.
really a rapper in 2025?
Yes. He just dropped an album 2 weeks ago.
Who wrote them lyrics? Do you honestly think Snoop wrote a single lyric on there?
I actually do. I actually believe Snoop wrote a lyric. I actually believe Snoop Drake wrote a lyric.
That would probably
I think Snoop wrote Drake lyrics.
That would probably explain a lot about that album, but
I'll tell you the reason that album is not for us. I'll explain more on Summer Session. That album's not for us. But that to me was the only issue I had. I thought the beat was phenomenal. I couldn't really give it a grade because I didn't actually hear the actual song. It hasn't been actually put out to the world. But I'm just kind of like, I just feel like I just want him to let that aspect go of it. And I really feel like he's having a hard time with this. And it's like, I need you to move on, brother. Like, as far as I feel like he's mad at the fans. Like, how dare you niggas? Like how dare y'all root? Like, and it's just like, you still hear it in his voice. He's really upset. Even the video, he looked at the camera like, you want to cry. So that's just the only issue I have with it. Like, if he gets back to just rapping, doing his thing, whatever, fine. Stop bringing up the beef. Like, is it a coincidence that he's going to be out of the country doing the Super Bowl? No, I don't care what y'all say. He don't want to be in America when the Super Bowl's going on. Probably not. But I'd handle that beef a whole lot different than Drake would have handled it. But Tosin, what you think about this as we wrap up Drake and Bron?
He has a tattoo of LeBron on him.
Baby mama raps.
Yo, and even when he was on the shop and he was like complaining to LeBron, I was like, yo,
I'll never forget that.
It's like, yo, what are you doing, man? But listen, at the end of the day, Drake makes good music, but he's acting like a little square right now. So yeah. And also, Orlando said he's again in the booth. I just remember when LL Cool J shot at Mike Tyson. So that just took me back.
That nigga LL Cool J said, I don't know, B. He can't come back from this B. Talking about Drake. Like, and by the way, Drake's not done, but I think it's kind of like, it's kind of compared to LeBron. Like, LeBron's still hooping, but he's not that nigga anymore. I think that nigga days for Drake are done. They'll do his record, he'll sell his records. Niggas love Drake. But I think, especially if he can't get past this, I think it's gonna be an issue. But we'll see. The year just started. There's a lot more things for him to do, man. But Pav, anything you want to say if we get you about? I know you got some music dropping in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, I got a record called All the Things Your Man Won't Do coming out in a few weeks, so look out for that. Getting back to the music, so I'm excited to drop it. Been working very hard on it. I personally think it's probably the best artistic work I've done. So yeah, man, I'm excited to get that to you guys.
Definitely. Tosin, anything you want to say if we get up out of here?
Nah, man, just happy New Year to everybody once again. Get to all your goals, and that's all I got.
Definitely, man. Shout out to everybody who watched. 1,200 people watched the stream today. Like I said, did the year top totals. We had over 650,000 people watch. I'm not going to hold you content in the year 2024, so we appreciate that. Let's keep that going for 2025. We'll be back on Friday. We're going to preview Super Wildcard Weekend this week. A lot of things going on. Talk about some of this coaching search going on. Starting to move on real fast for the Bears and other teams. So, of course, you ought to follow me on all social media platforms at Barbchair Scott. You can follow Pav and at Pavy World. Tosin, what's your at? Let them know they can follow you at.
Just follow the Shirtless Plantain Show. We're everywhere. TikTok, IG, Twitter, Blue Sky, all of that. So
Shirley's
yeah,
Plantain Show. Get in tune with them. Subscribe to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Barbershop Network. Summer sessions will be hilarious this week. We're going to be talking about that Fox Sports thing. I will not be talking about that outside of a paywall. So we're going to be talking about that. Tomorrow we record, and that'll be out there for y'all on Wednesday, man. I'm about to watch Monday Night Raw on Netflix. So I will holler at y'all niggas. We are up out of here, man.
peace.